trust me, come with a real. He hip in the front seat, get my meals, I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come with a dank, scrolling that tank, rolling with the gang. You sick and I on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah, I'm okay.
What up, though? Welcome to World Heavyweights Live on Sports.com. I'm Eazy, Joe by Raxter.
What up, though?
Chris Nicholas Koloff. We'll be joined by Birdie and intern Ryan later on today. Talk a little bit of Michigan football. Excited for that one. A lot of weird stuff going on. The big blue wall is a thing. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that part. That's kind of fucking crazy.
It's what happens.
Yeah. Speaking of crazy, I said it Friday, Thursday. I don't know what day I said it. But I told you guys, Ilia Topuria has the best hands in UFC history. He went out and proved it on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
Slept Charles Oliveira in the first round. And beyond like the hands conversation, I think that's just a gimme. You can say there's better strikers. Again, I said it on Twitter, and they sent me like gifts of like Anderson Silva. Striker.
Yeah.
Hands.
Just straight hands.
Straight hands.
Yeah.
It's Ilia Topuria, brother. And at one point too, beyond like the hands argument, because I'm not gonna say GOAT stuff. I like that. Like that stuff needs to like
getting there.
Play out in time. Getting there.
Getting real close.
Getting goddamn close.
Yeah.
I mean, if Islam goes out there and wins the 170 title, if Ilya really wants to,
super fight,
like and get 3 titles.
Would that be the
I think Islam could beat him, though.
Least sellable super fight of all time?
Yes.
And it would be one of the biggest fights in the history of the UFC.
It depends. They were trying to build up John and Stipe as a super fight, and that was the furthest thing from it.
I bet that would do more units than Ilya, and
I don't know, dude. Ilya's a star.
Is he?
Yeah.
I think he's a star for UFC fans. I don't think he's a star for.
That's fair, but I mean, in UFC standards, yeah. Star.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's getting pretty close to GOAT talks.
I mean, like these conversations that we're having now.
He's stacking bodies right now.
The next card, like other people, casual guys, like okay, let me check in. Like, what is this guy? Is he legit? And honestly, him versus Islam. Islam is like, I mean, I think Islam could beat him, right? It's like you're gonna want to watch.
That would be a great fight.
Yeah, but. At one point, though, just the grappling, because Charles, that's his thing. That's his bread and butter. He has the most finishes in UFC history, more than half of them being, like, submissions.
Yeah.
On the ground, Ilya nearly put him in a crucifix.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and obviously Charles being Charles, and,
got out of it.
Almost made an ankle lock, or ankle pick, but not pick, Jesus. Foot lock, toe hold, whatever you want to call it. But regardless, like, he's just so fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think we all said that was going to happen. Like, Ilya was going to knock him out. He went out there and he knocked him out. The craziest part of it was like the way he was talking to Charles Oliveira. Like he was like a wounded animal. Yeah, like I'm sorry I have to do this. I hate that it had to be you. It's like, dude, that's fucking scary.
Friday, him and his team, his family, they went out and celebrated. He gave context to it, but they celebrated like. Everyone was perceiving it as like you're celebrating the win that hasn't happened yet. But he's like, we just celebrating the work we put in to get here. And I guess I can understand the context of that, but I mean, maybe that's a cover-up. I mean,
he celebrated both because he definitely won. And, Pantoja as well. Just those guys are just so dominant.
Pantoja's graded, goated, or getting there. That division's like kind of soft in my eyes. I was having the conversation. Not soft, but like weak.
Like, Kai Kara France is just outclassed.
Yes.
Absolutely outclassed.
And that's a perfect example of like why that division. Like I want to call Pantoja GOAT or getting close to the GOAT status. Like that division there's not enough.
And look who Ilya is killing right now.
Exactly.
Like he's killing legends.
Yeah.
And I mean, are they going to feed him Patty? I don't think Dana wants to do that. I think it would be in Dana's best interest to make sure that Patty doesn't fight Ilya.
Slow build the Patty thing.
Because Ilya would kill Patty. And that would kill all his hype.
Yeah.
Because he'd knock him out in the first round. It'd be the same exact thing that you saw against Charles.
Yeah. I feel like Patty could live on, but you're right. But Ilya, I mean, if I'm Ilya, you got to wait for Islam to fight JDM anyway.
Yeah.
I would take a quick Patty payday.
And shout out to Steve O'Baby. Said great stream, great live yesterday, guys. Do more watch parties for the Tigers. So shout out again to Old Miami, Dina, for having us out there for the White Claw Tigers tour. It's an awesome spot.
Very chill spot.
It was a lot of fun. And I'm excited to do another one. We got another one coming up at Second Best. So
July 11th.
Shout out to the Tigers, shout out to White Claw, and shout out to Ven Johnson Law.
Shout out to Jake from White Claw.
Shout out to Jake from White Claw.
Shout out Brady.
Shout out to Brady for sure. Set it all up by himself.
Go. Yeah. Dude's truly goated. Something did kind of leak, but not official yet. but Duplessis was on like a stream or video, and he actually said that Patty's gonna be fighting Justin Gaethje for their co-main event. Nothing official.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I think yeah, Patty could beat Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, I think
He could wrestle him, and he could.
He really impressed me his last.
He could.
gotten better.
That would be much better than just feeding him to Ilya.
Yeah. But again, if I'm
'Cause
Ilya,
that would prop him up a little bit.
yeah. Well, they have beef from before too. I told you yesterday.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, Patty the Batty and Ilya Topuria. If you don't know who Ilya Topuria is, he was the 145 champ, and he knocked out the GOAT and Alex Volkanovski. And there was a GOAT before Alex Volkanovski. His name was Max Holloway. Max Holloway's beaten literally every single buddy other than Alex Volkanovski. Ilya Topuria knocked out both of them.
Knocked out him too.
I'm pretty sure. No, Max was second round, right?
Yep.
Volk was first round.
Yep.
And then Saturday.
One of the greatest jiu-jitsu specialists of all time.
Yeah, most finishes in UFC history. Moved up a weight class, knocked him out as well.
Yep.
And then he has beef with this guy named Paddy Pimblett, who you may know because he's got a hype machine behind him. Georgians are like, I don't know, Georgians would be ashamed for moving to the UK. I don't know what the situation is, but Ilya Topuria is Georgian, and so Paddy, he took offense to that, and they had a little beef. They threw hand sanitizer at each other as like fresh out of quarantine. And I don't know, so now it's built up to this.
Quarantine beefs throwing hand sanitizer at each other.
And Paddy's calling him the sanitizer boy. That's what he calls him. But Ilya would destroy him.
Yeah, Ilya would kill him. It would make sense for him to fight Gaethje.
Fuck that. I'm still down for the fight Paddy, though, too. I'm not going to lie.
He would kill Paddy, though.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I'm not saying I want Paddy killed, but, like, he was overhyped.
Knock him down a little bit.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
But you're right. Dana took a sweet-ass time with Sean O'Malley. And
yes, he did.
Could probably do the same with Paddy. Sell a couple more pay-per-views before they off that one.
Did you the Steelers trade?
Yeah.
How you feeling about that one?
What the fuck?
I think the Steelers won. I was trying to it was obviously really weird because it came out. And like, oh, that makes sense. They probably gave like a third-round pick or some shit, and we got nope. Oh, they gave up Mika Fitzpatrick. That's kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy.
Oh, they got Jonnu Smith as well. All right, well now it makes a little bit more sense. Still a really weird trade, but then I looked at the contracts. Minka's supposed to make 22 this year, and by trading them, they save $15 million.
Yeah.
So now that extra money, like $15 million saved. Well, obviously you're taking on Jalen Ramsey's contract as well, but now maybe they could pay T.J. Watt.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
You know.
Freeing it up. Jalen Ramsey, does he have an expiring contract or
2 more years? Is this year and the next year?
Okay, so
I'm gonna pull it up actually.
yeah, maybe they're doing that to free up some money for T.J. Watt. I don't know. It's a weird move.
It was really weird. Because Mika Fitzpatrick is,
I would say, just as good as Jalen Ramsey,
if not better.
if not better,
Yeah.
at this point in his career.
Correct. But I know
The Pittsburgh seniors, they're getting older, says Man Beast Morris. Shout out Man Beast Morris.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know they were doing the safety duos, and that was the one I think behind the line.
Jonnu Smith is good. He's not like that good. I mean, he's a good receiving tight end for sure.
For sure, yeah. I think Steelers won.
Yeah.
You got two.
Sure.
Even just like NFL, you're gonna get hurt, right?
Didn't Minka used to play for the Dolphins? Right?
He did, yeah.
He got drafted by the Dolphins, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure something like that. I saw some people saying a reunion of some sorts.
And Arthur Smith, I guess, loves Jonnu Smith. So
it's his cousin.
Yeah, they're blood brothers.
Yeah, he's the Dolphins' first 2 years, and he got traded to the Steelers. That's right. I do remember that.
No way, Freddie.
What?
Did you guys see the Shefty tweet regarding the T.J. Watt trade rumors?
Oh!
Yeah, like not willing to pay him.
Fuck!
What?
Breaking news?
Yeah.
What?
Breaking news, Mitch Marner traded to the Vegas Golden Knights.
Wow.
In a sign-and-trade deal, 8 years, $12 million average annual value with Vegas in a sign-and-trade with the Leafs.
No! God,
Damn.
please, no! No!
$12 million a year for Mitch Marner.
I feel like that's a steal.
That is a steal. That is an absolute steal.
They're so annoying.
One off the board for Stevie Y.
Wow.
That sucks.
The Vegas Knights are very annoying. They're just
Wow,
like
dude.
born into being like a great team.
Rich
Off
get
rip.
richer.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy.
Fucking Ekblad.
It's better than Carolina getting them.
Ekblad going back to Florida.
Confirmed?
Oh, yeah. You didn't see that?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, Aaron Ekblad re-signed with Florida, 8 years.
In a matter of an hour,
That was
Yeah,
both
that
of
happened
the
earlier.
biggest chips are off the board for the Red Wings. Where do they turn to, Spenny?
Keandre Miller, I would really like that if you can make a trade and bring him in from New York. There are reports that a big move is going to happen.
Robertson?
We'll see. Robertson would be the last real big chip that we've heard about actually moving around. Robertson would be that. So if that's what the Red Wings are doing is going after Robertson, I would love that. That would be a big move, certainly. I think Keandre Miller is a very big possibility as well, but I wouldn't really consider that a big move. I'd consider it a good move. But if you're putting out something saying we're making a big move, guys that I could think of would be Robertson, Pasternak. I'm just throwing that out there. I haven't heard anything about that. But, I mean, if Boston's looking at their roster, which they should be, and being like, okay, we should just fully rebuild, they're going to want to move David Pasternak, and I would trade anything the Red Wings have for him.
I want it.
Wow, 8 years. He signed an 8-year deal with the Leafs and then traded to Vegas.
Did they say what they get in return?
I have not seen yet. Shit.
What's up with the delay on getting
the trade returns?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I mean,
it happened today too with the Shefty.
Because they probably get one thing from one person right away and they put it right out.
That's fair.
You immediately, hey, we got traded to Vegas. I'll tell you more later. Click.
Oh, they
okay.
just want to be the first
I'm
one
putting
out.
the tweet out. Yeah,
that's fair.
Wow.
Did you see the Elliot Friedman just recently about Brad Marchand?
No, what did he say?
Hearing Brad Marchand is closing in on a 6-year extension in Florida, just under $32 million on the deal.
That's fucked.
The Panthers pulled it off. Very impressive. Spenny's guy, Brad Marchand, sticking in Florida. What is up with these great teams not losing anybody?
And Bennett and Ekblad, keeping them all.
Dynasty.
The Panthers might win 4 Stanley Cups in a row.
They might win 7.
How do they afford that?
Because they have no state tax, so they can afford. Guys will take you looked at the deal that Ekblad got. It was 8 at 6, 8 at 6.12 or something like that. If the Red Wings or another team that has state income tax would want to offer him a deal like that, it would have to be 8 at 8. And so the Panthers can pay less to get the same kind of contract for a guy, and you just won back-to-back Stanley Cups. So
you think it'd be that way in all sports, though?
Well, it's different in hockey because we're talking about $1 to $2 million differences being a 30-year contract or a third of your deal. So it's way more important than in the NFL where $3 million is half of a half played. It's way more important in hockey because the deals aren't as large, and we're talking about $8 million per year compared to $6 million per year, rather than $40 million compared to $42 million.
I remember somebody asked Bettman that, and he kind of dismissed it. But now I'm thinking about it too, Tampa, Florida.
The Red Wings have $20 million in cap space.
After they traded Tarasenko.
After they traded Tarasenko, they re-signed Aljo to a 2-year extension worth $1.2. They re-signed Berger into a 1-year deal, just under $2 million. They're good. They're doing something. Damn, dude. Florida running it back with Bennett, Ekblad, and Marchand is honestly pretty crazy. They're gonna win another. They're gonna three-peat. They're gonna be so good, and they're gonna get Malkin at the deadline. Oh man, that's a bummer. And Mitch Marner going to Vegas is an even bigger bummer. Oh, shit.
Let's go to break, recoup ourselves. We'll let you guys decide what we talk about it next, but Feist, tell us about Vin Johnson.
If you've got a crisis, let Ven point the way. Step 1, verify with details and photos. Step 2, engage your attorney. Step 3, notify your insurance provider. Get justice with Ven Johnson Law.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone, where we mean everybody, can get a full body workout in 30 minutes. All memberships include fitness training. Get all that for just $15 a month. Or you can upgrade to the black card, get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
What up, though? Welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. I'm Eazy. Watch for more action. Chris, Nicholas, Koloff. Smash the like button. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Share the stream. News just broke that Marshawn is re-signing with the Panthers. We kind of had the conversation. Is the Florida non-state tax advantage for them? I know some others debate not. I mean, there were periods where the Panthers weren't doing anything for like 20 years.
Shout out to Chaz, dude, real quick.
Yeah, shout out to Chaz.
Shout out to Chaz for coming through yesterday all the way from Grand Rapids. He drops a comment in the chat. He says, hey, heavyweights, great watch party at the Old Miami last night. The weather was just as pitch perfect as Scooble's performance. Appreciated the interview. Still players for Iserman to get this summer. So shout out to Chaz in the Woodward Sports chat. You're a legend, brother.
Real Juan.
Fuck, dude. I'm really...
I mean, you know it's going to be a minute anyway for us.
There is still, but, I mean, Florida literally just kept they're just keeping their whole team for the past 2 years. And like I said, they're going to get Evgeny Malkin at the deadline. So they keep Bennett for a cheaper contract than anybody else in the NHL would have been able to pay him. They keep Ekblad at a cheaper contract than anybody else in the NHL would have been able to pay him. And they signed Brad Marchand until he's 43 at a cheaper number than anybody else in the NHL would be able to pay him. But there's no problem with teams in states with no income tax. It's just... and Mitch Marner's going to Vegas at $12 million a year.
Yeah.
That, too, is... I'd like to see what's going on with the trade, what it took for Vegas, what Vegas gave up to get him. But, man, those are some big fish out of the pond very early in this free agent cycle.
Vegas, another place, no income tax as well, state income tax.
Yep. And maybe the Red Wings are going to make a deal to bring somebody out of one of those states. Because, like we said, the Red Wings said that there are big moves that are going to happen. It's looking like Robo's probably the only big move left. Unless something crazy out of left field happens, which is very possible because Steve Yzerman doesn't tell anybody anything. So maybe he's been cooking with Boston this whole time and you see pasta and a winged wheel. But it sucks that both Mitch Marner and Ekblad are not. I didn't think we were going to get Marchand anyways, and I didn't really want him on the number that he was going to charge and what he would have been forced to do here. But Florida's going to win 2 more cups in a row.
Oh, no!
What's up, Justin?
We suck again!
How's it going? Well, you know, when NHL news, I just happened to float by, so
It's the tunnel.
happens. This kind of sucks. I can't lie. Ekblad being gone, but I'm very hopeful about Keandre Miller at this point. That's where I've turned my focus and my hopes to. I think he is a legitimate top 4 defenseman that we can add at a very cheap and reasonable price, especially for his age and for the production that I expect from him. So hopefully that happens. And like Spencer's been echoing, I mean, we are, especially with how the East is shaping out, we are a top 6 forward away, a top 4 defenseman at least away from even competing to make the playoffs next year with how good the East is getting.
Yeah.
The East is going to be loaded. There's going to be 10 to 11 teams that are going to be better or as good as us next year, and that is scary. And that is where is coming because you got guys like Boston. Like Boston just picked their number 1 center of the future with James Higgins. The New York Islanders have just as loaded as a prospect pool now as we do, and they also already have a better goalie in Sorokin, and they already have Matt Barzal, who arguably would be the best forward on the Red Wings if we were to trade for him.
Probably.
So we're talking about so many teams in the Eastern Conference getting better, and that is why we have all been so adamant that this is the offseason you have to add. You can't just sit there, especially with how the cap's going up. Every team is just going to continue to add on top of what they already have, and you're getting to a point where you're going to be left too far behind to even be at a point to catch up. And that's why we're all so adamant about the fact that they have to add. This patience stuff has to be done.
Yeah.
You have to do stuff this offseason.
We talked about, like, Montreal and Ottawa. They're already way past the Red Wings on the highway. And there you go, Nick. And we're looking at teams now that I would say you're tailgating Columbus, and I think you're being tailgated by New York. And Philadelphia's right in your blind spot. So there are a lot of things that you have to do to make sure you make the playoffs next year.
New York is guaranteed a big fish.
And New York is guaranteed a big fish.
They've already been all over Garkiev news, and I'm almost positive that he's going to be a Ranger, which is going to improve their decor.
Maybe you get somebody from New York. Maybe you get somebody other outside of Keandre Miller. Maybe you get somebody from Buffalo. If we're talking about dream scenario now that Mitch Marner just signed an 8-year contract with Las Vegas and Ekblad re-signed with the Panthers, my dream scenario would be Tage Thompson.
This Marchand contract is insane.
Tage Thompson and Keandre Miller would be my dream. It's 6 years.
5.3 AAV.
Yeah, that's $32 million.
What the hell?
For
Marchand. He could have went somewhere and got double that.
9.
Yeah.
God, that Florida team is unbelievable.
But he doesn't need the money.
Nope.
And he's gonna win. He's literally gonna win 2 more Stanley Cups, and we're gonna be talking about Brad Marchand as one of the greatest hockey players ever. Like, that's what this is happening.
And even though Bob,
this Florida team has a very realistic possibility of being the greatest dynasty in the history of the modern NHL.
No doubt. And they have all their guys signed, other than Bob, 3 years at least.
Yeah.
Like, every single one of their key pieces is signed for a term. And Bob goes up off contract next year. They can sign him to short-term deals, and their backup, Devin Levi, has always been a highly touted goalie prospect that has just started to get his feet wet in the NHL. So they'll
be able to get a goalie whenever they need him.
Exactly. So they have legitimate pieces still in place for 3 years. They're going to win 2 cups. I'm a Spaniard.
They're going to win 2 more cups.
I'm a fan of general managers. Bill Zito's the fucking man.
He is the man.
He's insane.
He really is, like, nuts. And it's so smart locking these deals in place right after the cup.
Yeah.
Because you're fresh off that high of winning the championship.
Yeah, you've got Sam Bennett screaming, I'm not fucking leaving. Marchand was liking that. After Ekblad signed, the Spit and Chicklets posted, nobody wants to leave Florida. Chuck retweets it. He's like, you're right. And then, boom, Marchand they just get the steal of the century for Brad Marchand, who's going to be the greatest third liner of all time.
He just wants cups at this point.
Yeah, and he's going to get 2 more.
And Zito
and he's getting $5.5 million a year to live in Florida.
He's also 37
and
years old.
Yeah, how much money he made from the Bruins throughout his career. Like, fuck, dude. Florida's going to be they're going to be the same exact team. They're literally good. Like, that team that we saw yesterday.
They're going to get Malkin at the deadline.
Then they're going to get Malkin at the deadline.
They're just going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, it's going to be
Malkin and
crazy. They're going to have Malkin and Marchand on the third line.
It's going to be.
Why do you say that?
Because he's on the expiring year of his final his contract in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh needs to rebuild. Their team's falling apart. They're not going to get rid of Sid, but they'll get rid of Malkin, just like Boston did with getting rid of Marchand and keeping
And
Pasta.
Florida has no reason to use their picks. They'd rather just
why
trade
would they?
them for win-now
Why
pieces,
would they need picks? They could give them a second for Malkin, and they'll take that in a heartbeat.
The Knicks are about to sign Mike Brown as their coach.
Again?
But thank God we signed
They are
Jonathan
not.
Berggren.
They are
Thank the Lord
good thing
we
we-
brought back Johnny Burgers.
Well,
At a team, that deal's awful.
you got John Gibson.
John Gibson was a good move.
That was a good move.
Signing John Gibson or trading for John Gibson was a great move because Steve Eisman won 3 trades in a row, and that's awesome. Getting rid of Vladimir Tarasenko was the 3rd trade that he won. Getting
Another
rid of
great
that
move.
entire contract, amazing move. Now we need talent, and I know that I shouldn't be this upset. I wanted Ekblad really bad. I thought there was a pretty good possibility you could have got him. Obviously, that was just hosh posh because he was not leaving Florida. I don't know what else to call it. It's a hockey segment. We're getting really white. I just think that when you talk about making a big move, which is what was reported by The Athletic, they said that Steve Eisman, the Red Wings expect a big move. I don't see Keandre Miller as a big move. It's a good move. It's a move I would like to happen. But when I'm talking big move, I'm talking an elite player. And that would be Robo or somebody we haven't heard about. If it's Tage Thompson, I would be so fucking happy.
Nick Roy is the package for Marner. Just straight up 1-for-1.
There's no fucking way, dude.
I'm dead serious. Bob McKenzie. It's credible, as credible as it gets.
Wait. What was it?
Just Nick Roy. Just mid defenseman.
Just Nick Roy?
Yep.
No picks?
There's no
No
way.
prospects?
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. I'm reading it from Bob McKenzie, dude.
No future
I mean,
considerations?
I guess, like,
Still pending, though.
that's just kind of like a let's make sure we get him before anybody else does. So we're going to give you a little something.
Yep.
Dude, yeah, Bettman has to do something about these non-state tax teams.
It's not that big of a. It's more the GMs making moves.
No,
dude.
Absolutely, it's such a. It's
You
not
just looked
that
at
big of an impact
Vegas,
as you guys are making it
Florida,
out to be. It's really not.
Dallas,
Florida, Dallas, and
Vegas.
Vegas are the teams.
How'd they
getting
get
all these
Matthew?
guys.
How'd they get Chuck?
They traded for him.
How'd they get Bennett?
They traded for him.
It's not tax.
Signing
advantage.
Sam Bennett is because they're in Florida.
How'd they get Marchand? Traded for him. Like this, Bill Zito making moves.
I'm saying retaining.
Yeah, signing.
But even that's,
Ekblad
it's minimum.
and
moves.
signing
I agree.
Sam Bennett, they're
I think that's
the
making a
only
bigger deal
team
than
that
it
could get
is.
them to stay at that number is in a non-tax state. If the Red Wings would have offered them a number like that, they'd say no.
I
And
think you guys are making a bigger deal than it is.
No.
I think it helps if they're winning championships.
It definitely
to get guys
helps.
to stay and like retain.
It definitely helps, but it also helps when you can pay $2 million less than anybody else per year, and
But-
it's the same for the player.
Like Tennessee doesn't have a state tax.
Tennessee doesn't have a team.
The Predators, they sucked forever.
Nashville, yeah, they do suck forever, but they got free agents.
Yeah, they signed some.
They give free agents. They got Shea Weber.
Yeah. But I'm
They
just saying,
got
like
Stamkos.
Stamkos. They got Parise too. Didn't they get Parise and
Back
Shea
in the day,
Weber?
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I just like
Tennessee doesn't have state tax. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no state tax. Tennessee, Nevada, Florida, Texas, and Seattle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Dude,
they just signed
fuck
Nick
Nashville,
Hagee.
then.
Nashville just signed Nick Hagee to
Then why
4
doesn't
years,
Nashville
$5.5
have a
million.
baseball team, dude?
Kraken, another situation too. No state tax. But
Seattle
they're
doesn't
good.
have a state tax either.
Yeah,
Really?
if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that's why they're
don't-
so in on
Seattle?
overpaying Ehlers.
Seattle's a city, but
I don't think Seattle. No, that's not. I don't think that's a thing.
Washington doesn't have any state tax? I don't know.
They definitely do.
I think they do. They're very
They for sure do.
They're very liberal city or
Yeah.
liberal state. I feel like they.
Have you seen Seattle? No.
I think that's why all the tech bros go there. Washington State does not have a personal income tax.
Wow.
Wow, easy out here. My bad.
Easy's
Guys, come on
Easy's
now.
been scouting. He's rerouting all his payments through Seattle.
Via
No
AI.
state income tax is Alaska, Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and Wyoming.
Shout out Wyoming.
Yeah.
along with Seattle. You say
Well, Seattle's in Washington.
Seattle's
Okay,
Washington.
Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fuck the Predators.
Yeah.
They do sign people though. They always get free agents.
Yeah,
They're
I just
not good.
think it's more of like a GM
Retaining these guys though is they're doing it because
helps, but it's not it's not like the driving factor.
it's an important factor.
I don't think it is.
What's Michigan state tax? I don't know.
6%?
6% is the income tax?
Yes, state tax. You guys don't know these things?
No, don't really care.
I did go to. I was in school for semester for business. Just kidding. That's not why I know
Dude,
that. Actually, it is. What? A lot of businesses run their
Florida's
shit out of
gonna
South
run
Dakota.
the league for
Have you ever seen like a
5 more
Tesla drive
years,
around
dude.
here, like a South Dakota license plate? Because they bought that with their business.
New Hampshire, live free or die, says Steve Lehman.
I think that's like their
That was one of
like one
the.
of their slogans or some shit.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
How do some states just not have tax? How is that a thing?
I don't know.
Why
Well, typically in those situations, property tax is like double.
That's sales
elsewhere.
tax. Yeah, that is sales tax. It's not income tax. 6% is the sales tax.
What is the income tax in Michigan? Maybe like 20%. I don't fucking know. It's different for everybody.
Yeah. But we got
Michigan has a
That's the
flat
state
state
law.
income tax of 4.25% for
okay,
individuals.
there you go. All right. Wow. Okay, so the Florida Panthers just locked up another decade of dominance.
we'll tell you how to fix the Red Wings.
Yeah.
And do your tax.
And do your taxes. You want to talk about Scooble next? What do we?
I mean, if the chat wants some scoops, we're gonna give them some scoops.
Yeah, we'll give them some scoops.
We'll give them some Harbaugh.
Tell us about merch, dude.
Merch.
Let me tell you about merch. If you need some Detroit sports swag, head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today. Get yourself some brand new merch. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all that, all teams, all seasons. Make sure you are tapping in for the best Detroit sports merch in the game right here at Woodward Sports.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Let's stand for Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Make sure you tap in the 2025 Envision Preferred All-Wheel Drive, $259 per month. 2025 Hummer EV SUV, $699 per month. Or the 2025 Sierra Double Cab, $169 per month. Go to Let's Stand for Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC and check out their massive inventory. You can scan that QR code over there and see it as well. Let's stand for it together. Let's drive.
Welcome back to Water Voids Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Smo Raxter, Chris, Nicholas Koloff. We got Justin in the building as well. Smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. We're kind of over crashing out. We're reacting to and crashing out about the NHL moves. The lack thereof out of the
Florida's
Red Wings.
going to win literally 2 more Stanley Cups in a row.
I guess I'm not tripping as much just because I know the only team I give a fuck about is the Red Wings, and we are quite a bit away.
Yeah, like I
the
guess
conversation.
should I be happy because like I really liked watching that Florida team play.
Yeah.
They were really fun to watch, and now they're just going to be the same team for 5
I feel bad
more
for
years.
McDavid.
I do feel
That's
bad
why I
for
feel
McDavid.
They will never. The Oilers will never beat the Panthers in
They
the
might
finals.
they might go back to back to back, same 2 teams next year, and the Panthers will win again.
That's demoralizing.
Watch him go to Vegas.
You know, he go to
McDavid.
Dallas, dude. Him and Miko. Oh my God.
Or the Hurricane.
Or Tampa.
Under the caps. Yeah, cap
or you go to
space.
Tampa, play with Kucherov.
Tampa would be nuts. If you went to Tampa, I don't know how they would afford that.
It's after next year, right? He's free agent?
Yeah. He's going to get $20 million a year.
How old's Kucherov?
He's not that old. He's I think he's only 31, something like that.
Oh, that's not old at all for hockey.
32.
All right, what do you think about this? Lions to win the division, Panthers to win the Stanley Cup. I'm put $40 to win $672.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it a lot.
I like it. It's better than Terry Arnold Rookie of the Year.
Terry Arnold had 6 interceptions. As rookie.
62.50.
That's what it was, yeah.
62.50 on it. That was dumb.
Dude, I ended up hitting that bet yesterday that I wrote with Jake. I didn't put in one of his legs or whatever it was.
The McKinstry one?
Yeah.
That was the only one that didn't hit.
Yeah.
Did it hit?
No, I didn't put it in. I didn't put that leg in, so I still hit my bet. I didn't realize. So I checked in my draft.
That's crazy.
Shout out.
You hedged
on accident.
His bet and it won.
Because I was trying to get it in before the show started.
Shout out to Jake.
Speaking of those Detroit Tigers, man, Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
Ties his career high in strikes. Had 8. Speaking of bets, it was 8.5 for Tarek Skubal strikeouts. He hit it by the 3rd inning.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's insane.
He's a freak, dude. He's a freak of nature. He went out there and was absolutely putting his nutsack on the Twins. I'm glad this happened when his number one hater, Rob Parker, was in attendance. Because Rob Parker was at that game, and he had to sit there and watch Tarek Skubal be the best pitcher in the world. He went out there and he was just – when he gets in a zone like that, when he gets a couple runs of run support and he's got a lead – he just starts chucking, dude. He just starts chucking 99, 98 right over the middle of the plate, center cut, middle fastballs. And he's just like, fucking hit it, pussy. And then he'll drop off a changeup on the outside to a right-hander and make them swing out of their shoes. I believe his changeup had a 65% whiff rate last night. Like, that is just an absolutely insane number. And he is, what was the stat I read earlier? He's the first left-hander to have two 13 strikeout performances on under 95 pitches in the history of the MLB. The guy is just a freak, man. He's up there with, it was Chris Sale, Sandy Koufax, and Randy Johnson as the only left-handers to do the things that he's done on a 13 strikeout performance with 1 hit and no earned runs in multiple games in a season. He is the best pitcher in the world.
He's the only left-handed pitcher with 13 Ks and under 95 pitches.
100%.
Starts.
I just said that.
Sorry, you're just taking all the good stuff. You never shut up.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was talking. And, yeah, this guy is just absolutely electric, man. It was so much fun to watch.
Being down there and being a part of, like, the atmosphere, it was insanity. The amount that he was feeding off the crowd and the crowd was feeding off him when he went on that consecutive streak of strikeouts. Nobody was touching him. And when Byron Buxton finally flew out to left field, they were kind of throwing jabs at each other on the broadcast. Like when he was running by them, you know, they were jawing at each other a little bit, like kind of laughing. I'm assuming it was probably something like Buxton was like, "You ain't striking me out," or something. I'm putting this one in play or something like that. But the amount or the damage that Skubal's doing just this season, like, or not allowing. It's on a better track than Justin Verlander, fellas, when he won the MVP. That is how good Tarek Skubal is, and these conversations are getting more and more real. Not the longevity of it, but that Tarek Skubal is a better pitcher than Justin Verlander ever was as a Detroit Tiger. He's proving that. He has a lower ERA, 2.15, compared to a 2.40. A higher Ks per 9 with 11.4 compared to 9. A lower walks per 9 with 1.2 compared to 2, and a lower whip leading the league with a 0.835 compared to 9.20. He is on pace to have one of the best pitching seasons of all time.
Yeah, right now Tarek Skubal is throwing the nastiest stuff I've ever seen in my entire life. Like from any pitcher ever all time. Doesn't matter, Justin Verlander, whoever the fuck you want to talk about. Roy Halladay, you want to talk about these, like, no, it's what Tarek Skubal's doing right now. This is just nasty stuff. In his past 13 games, he has 113 strikeouts and 10 walks. Like, you don't do that. This guy, they were celebrating a walk last night. Minnesota was celebrating the one walk that they got because you don't do that against Tarek Skubal because, like I said, when he gets in his zone, when he starts feeling himself, he is just pumping the strike zone full of gas, and there's nothing you can do about it until he chokes you out and throws one of those nasty sliders that cuts across and into a right-hander, or the or the curveball, which looks like a breaking ball that cuts off the plate away to right-handers. He is in a zone right now that I've never seen, and Verlander has the longevity. But peak for peak, Tarek Skubal is higher than Justin Verlander was in a Tigers uniform. What he's doing right now, if it wasn't for Aaron Judge, he would be the MVP.
Yeah. Skubal talked about the Buxton exchange. So if you look at the pitch, it's a pretty well executed backdoor slider. That's all I want to do with that pitch, and he put a good swing on it. And I'm like, bro, you're supposed to take those. You're supposed to let me get ahead 0-1 and then see if you can hit it. Pretty much the exchange that those two had.
With Buxton?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I just threw something in Slack, Chris. This was from MLB. They tweeted it out.
Yeah.
Tarek Skubal's in some elite company. He joins Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander as the only Tigers to win 10 consecutive decisions in a season over the past 40 years. Elite. We are so lucky to have Tarek Skubal, and I feel great going into the playoffs with that guy going to be able to pitch twice, in a 7-game series. I feel great about that.
Yeah, he's the ultimate trump card for any type of playoff series when you're like, oh, man, this guy's hot, or this guy's hitting well, or this team's got a murderer's row lineup. It's like, okay, we got Tarek Skubal, and he's going to go out there. He's going to pitch 7 to 8 innings. He's going to strike out double digits, and you might get a hit off of him. That's just what he does. And, man, when we see him going further and further in these playoffs, I can't wait to see how he cranks it up even more, because we know he loves the big moment. We know he loves the hype on his side, the crowd cheering for him. His 13th strikeout in this game, it was 100 miles an hour right on the inside black, an absolutely dotted fastball. We know the complete game that he had. He finished it out with a strikeout at 103 miles an hour. This guy feeds off of the environment in Comerica Park. He feeds off of what the fans give to him in every start. That is must-see Scooby or whatever you want to call it. This guy feels that, and he turns up for the big moments. So could you imagine an ALCS Game 6 in Comerica Park with Tarek Skubal on the mound, or God forbid a World Series Game 1 with Tarek Skubal on the mound? Like this is stuff that should tickle the loins of baseball fans everywhere, because like I said, the MLB is back this year because we're not just seeing great performers, we're seeing all-time performers. When you look at Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, and Tarek Skubal, they are all-time performances they're putting on this year, and it's must-see TV. I know it's cliche, and but it really is. It is appointment viewing. Like, you got to tap in for Tarek. You have to.
Yeah, you thought he was going to throw a no-hitter. The whole entire stadium thought he was going to throw a no-hitter. The way he was cruising.
Well, when he had, Kerry fucked it up.
He couldn't run.
He should have let Austin catch that.
Austin Meadows, shout out. He's down in Florida. Austin is Parker. But, it's every time. Exactly like Spencer said. I think just the atmosphere of Sunday Night Baseball last night, like, it was a different buzz in the air. It felt like a playoff game. You got to see Skubal yelling at people, coming off the mound with the big hop, doing everything he could.
Real quick, I got to address this from Steve O'Baby. Steve O'Baby says, Spencer, I think everyone has forgotten what happened to the Lions, and now they're appreciating the Tigers. And I think that's the same thing, but
I think it's allowed.
I think it's even crazier for the Tigers this year. Like, the Lions, you look at the Lions team last year, the talent you had on there, the players you had on there, you were like, okay, the line or the schedule that you were going into, you're like, okay, this is a team that should. We had them winning 13 games in the preseason, like before the season started. This Tigers team, they weren't supposed to be this good.
This offense was not.
They were supposed to be good. They were supposed to compete for the Central. They weren't supposed to be best team in baseball good. And it's crazy watching them play like that every time, because you got the guys stepping up on offense. You've got now more starting pitchers coming back. Casey Mize has looked good his past couple starts. Hopefully Reese Olson can get back up here pretty soon. But, man, it's special with the Tigers because they're continuously defying expectations.
And to me, it solidifies, the improbable run that they went on last season.
Absolutely.
It solidifies that this team is 100% legit. And, it might not be the Aaron Judges, the Cal Rallies, the Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani's, but it's every single night they're going to find the best matchup, no matter what that is. AJ Hinch will find the best matchup and put every single player in a position to succeed, and most of the time they do. Night in, night out. I mean, the closest thing to a superstar in this lineup is Riley Green, and he's right there. Another bomb last night off of the bat of Riley Green. Love to see that for him. He's on pace to do some special things where you are talking about him as a superstar, but besides that, it's everybody just kind of forming, buying in, and that's what I kind of learned a lot from when talking to some of the players yesterday, like Jahmai Jones, like just how bought in everybody is. They're not looking forward to, a series ahead of time or anything. They are 100%. They take it day by day. They say it all the time. AJ will say it every single day that he talks. Day by day, we're going to do what we can to win this game. And that's the way they approach it.
For October at all?
No. I mean, I still think that they maybe need one more bat, 2 more arms, maybe a starter, a reliever, and a hitter. But, I mean, you're always going to want to add.
That is a lot.
That's a lot.
That's
with
if you're
the
asking,
best minor league system
yeah,
in
but
baseball,
if you're asking for 3
to,
players at the deadline, you're going to be disappointed.
I just don't think that.
Gun to head, you had to pick one to solidify a series.
We have the best farm system in baseball. I think that they're going to do everything they can to upgrade this team.
I think so, but I think if you're expecting 3 players at the deadline, you're going to be disappointed.
If all the stuff about them being super cheap as well as turns out to be true, which obviously evidence presented, it looks like that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
They might want to keep on to what they got in the farm system because they're not going to pay anybody to complete this team.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to trade any top prospects.
Yeah,
I'll say that. But I mean, these guys have nowhere to go. That's why they haven't been promoted. They have to trade some of these guys.
For sure.
That's a good point.
But again, I think that's a lot to expect.
If they had to pick one position,
one spot,
at
the deadline to address. What level of player are we talking? Because are we talking superstar?
How many guys that show up in October? It's like from a Riley Green to superstar.
Like an all-star?
Yeah.
That's way higher than Riley Green to superstar?
Yeah.
Riley Green is a superstar.
Okay.
So if you're expecting
I just want to hear you say it again.
A superstar this year, I don't think that's going to happen. I think you can get a Colt Keith to Riley Green level player.
Oof.
And that's what you're going to expect. That's what you should be expecting. We're not going to trade for Ronald Acuna.
I'm not trading for a Colt Keith, I'll tell you that.
I said Colt Keith to Riley Green level player.
Okay, so
right. Listen next time.
Relax.
I mean, I'm not trading for Colt Keith, but I want 4 players.
I mean Jack McKinstry's better than Colt Keith. You'd have to pull him out of the lineup.
Yeah, and I'm saying a player between a superstar and an everyday player.
We'll see what happens with Kerry as well.
Chris is hoping
if this
to win.
injury is lingering, that's trouble.
Might
where
be
you
something
might
you
need
have to address.
Yeah,
but Vierling being back
helps.
All-Star break coming up. I heard from a source that Kerry Carpenter was walking very healthily this morning. So
yeah, I still say. I mean, I guess we got the break coming up. I've been saying for fucking 2 weeks now. Can we relax Kerry a little bit? I mean, I don't know why we're flirting with that.
He said the hamstring.
You asked him right before the game. I saw
Phoenix Sundust. Riley Green's a superstar this year. He's the 2nd best outfielder in the American League. That's a superstar.
Yeah, did talk to Kerry. He said his hamstring had nothing to do with him not seeing the ball well. I don't know if I buy it personally.
I do.
You think?
I mean, seeing the ball, whatever, sure, but I mean, like running, base running, he's clearly hampered out there.
Well, yeah, the base running for sure. Yeah. But no, it didn't affect him.
Maybe even
swinging the ball well.
He looked great. 3 home runs last 5 games and a triple.
Last night was phenomenal too.
Yeah, 7 bases, couple ribbies. It was good.
Get back.
If you're throwing at eye level, he's hacking usually. Pretty patient last night, but
yeah, you hate to see it, but like I said,
you might as well go over,
boys. Just sit him down. If he's dealing with if he's fine, if it was just cramps or something, cool. But if that did bite him a little bit, Sit him down until the All-Star break. You got Veerling back. Give him a couple starts and let him heal up because he's more
game cushion.
He's a lot more important down the stretch than he's going to be
exactly
in the next however many games until the All-Star game.
The time I want him heating up and playing good is towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Somebody put in the chat.
And Veerling could use the reps. So I think it's a win-win for both guys.
Yes. Chris Hill is just hoping to win before the bill comes due. Would that mean trading like one of those top-tier prospects?
No, I think if that's how you're looking at it, you wouldn't want to trade those guys because before the bill comes due, you need those guys after the bill comes due. Because if you're not going to pay the bill, you need somebody to replace them.
Hold on. You lost me a little bit. Maybe
like you're trying to win before you have to pay everybody.
Yeah.
That.
Maybe he's not going to pay everybody.
That means you're not going to pay everybody, so you want those guys there still. Mm-hmm. So when you don't pay those guys and they leave, you still got great talent.
But if you really want to win, though, too, you might want to cash one in.
Yeah, but we'll see how bad he wants to win.
My boy told me this weekend he would trade Max Clark for Bregman.
I wouldn't even do that. I'm not the biggest Bregman fan in here.
He's on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
And he's
1 year. Yeah.
If you're trading Max Clark, you're legitimately getting a young, under 28 superstar. Pairing him with somebody.
Yeah, if you're
pairing Clark and somebody and going out and getting like one of the best young
Ellie
players in the
or fucking James Wood.
Ronald Acuna.
Yeah. Ronald Acuna would be awesome, but I don't know if the Braves do that.
What would you give up for Bregman?
I would give up Lorenzo.
I'll give up Lorenzo
and anything that they wanted probably.
Sawyer Gibson Long or
Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah,
I like Gibson Long.
Yeah, he
nice
can go
in your pocket. But yeah, I feel you.
We haven't really talked about Casey Mize.
I would go How You Lee for Bregman.
Yeah, How You Lee.
That's probably
as
high. How You Lee and Lorenzo. That's probably as high as I would go for talent.
Would they take How You Lee?
Yeah.
Should.
Christian Campbell's sent back down to AAA for them. Their second base prospect who started hot, cooled off. They got Marcelo Mayer.
I'm not giving up Clark, McGonigal, or Rayner for Bregman.
I'm at the point where I might want to keep Briseño. Briseño's popping.
Briseño is also raking, yes.
But you do have to give up stuff, and that's the thing.
You're gonna have to give up something.
Yes, exactly.
But if
it'll hurt, it'll hurt.
Listen,
and it should.
As much as I love Max Clark, as much as I love what Kevin McGonigal, I think he's going to be. If they trade those guys at the deadline to get someone of equal value or the value that they're worth, I'm not going to be mad about it. Like, if they go after a superstar and end up having to trade one of those guys, that's baseball. I would only want to trade them if you're getting a superstar like we were talking about. And I don't think that's very likely to happen. But if it happened, yeah.
Also, between bullpen, starter, and righty's probably most important. That's what I'm thinking. I think
don't
bullpen
know, man.
Straight, especially with Sawyer Long. Flaherty has like your fourth, third.
Yeah, you don't need a fourth though. It might be starter.
Really? I think it's a righty just because the offense is like the make believe part. That's what.
But with Wenzel,
it would cost more to get the starter.
Yeah.
But do we need the starter?
I am loving what I'm seeing out of Casey Mize. If we want to hit on that a little bit.
Olsen coming back.
Olsen's coming back.
And Flaherty's last outing wasn't bad. We didn't score.
3 runs, 1 home run,
4 walks.
Yep, the walks scare me.
Yeah.
But we've seen good Jack take over games.
We've seen good Jack, for sure. But if you're going up against Houston in the ALCS and they've got Valdez and Hunter Brown going 1-2,
that's why I want the righty.
I would prefer to have Skubal and another very good starter going against those two.
And don't look now, but the Boston Red Sox are 3-7 in their last 10 and 3 games under 500.
I would not mind them getting
losing.
Bregman, but not for Max Clark. No, like I said, I would give Lorenzo for Bregman. Lorenzo and one of the pitching prospects.
Yeah, Dylan Dangler's absolutely that guy.
Yeah,
at catcher.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
And you got Briseño, who's looking better than Lorenzo, and he's up behind him. So maybe they want Briseño. I would probably do that too. Yeah, if that's what it took.
That would hurt, but that would do it.
If I said I'll give you Lorenzo, and they said no, we want Briseño, I'd be like, okay, give me somebody. Poop.
Yep. I don't know.
Or maybe you say, all right, I'll give you.
You?
No.
I'll give you.
It's probably Justin.
You mother.
Me, Justin.
I got it. Or
Or
you, 'cause-
maybe you say, all right, I'll give you.
Justin.
I'll give you. if they want Briseño, maybe you're like, all right, throw in Chapman and we'll add somebody else too, blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
That would be elite. If they could somehow get a package of Bregman and Chapman, I think you are maybe looking at
World Series favorite.
Yeah, but you think that.
Well, you would have to trade maybe one of the top guys, but would you? I mean,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's not say names.
All right. Let's go to break. We'll come back. We got a double up here.
Yeah.
Tell us about White Claw.
The White Claw Tigers Tour. Brought to you by Ben Johnson. Calling all Tigers fans. Join Spencer and Eazy for our final stop on tour on Friday, July 11th at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Be part of the fun and see our reactions live on Woodward Sports Network to one of the hottest teams in baseball. It's the White Claw Tigers Tour. Brought to you by White Claw and Ben Johnson Law.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursdays on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts, Dr. Jeff Pierce, here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit him at MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or give him a call, 248-426-9944.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, June 29th at the Old Miami in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, East Town, and Ben Johnson. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like DMAC. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
If you want the best Detroit sports content in the game, go to Woodward Sports everywhere you get your Detroit sports content. I'm talking YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, everywhere. Detroit sports is getting the best coverage, and that is right here at Woodward Sports. So make sure you give us a follow everywhere at Woodward Sports.
CaesarSportsbook.com. It's a website where you go to use promo code WOOD1000 to get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. If your first bet loses when you use promo code WOOD1000 to deposit your first bet. Again, that's promo code WOOD1000.
Here's something to just something for you guys to stomach real quick. This is from Matthias on Twitter. Barkov, Kachuk, Reinhart, Bennett, Verhage, Lindell, Marchand, Ekblad, Jones, Forsling. All signed until at least 2030.
I said 7.
7
straight.
That's crazy. That's the best core in the NHL for
I'll take Seth Jones. Get rid of him.
Yeah,
some money.
He was on that list, I believe.
He was.
Yeah.
And the cap's going up.
Tommy Kahnle wins the primitive reliever of the month for the Tigers, I think.
Yeah, I looked up if it was a MLB thing.
Just for the Tigers.
Just a taste.
Yeah, I thought it was cooler before I started the announcement. But
well deserved.
Hey, man.
Well deserved.
Yeah, 11 innings pitched, 2.45 ERA, sub-1 whip, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. Shout out Tommy Kahnle.
Shout out. What?
Real quick before we get off. Wanted to get your guys' confidence level on Casey Mize, because I have taken a lot out of his last start where I am pretty confident in him moving forward.
Yeah,
as your
pretty
number 2
confident
guy.
in him moving forward, as in you're confident with him as the number 2 in a playoff rotation.
Yes.
I think that's a microwave take. I think that's a little
what?
aggressive.
He is a sub 2.8 ERA.
he hasn't shown the ability to stay healthy for a whole season, man. You can't believe in Marcus Davenport, but you can believe in Casey Mize as a number 2 starter.
Casey Mize is
that's actually a fair comp.
You gotta believe.
That's not a fair comp.
That's the exact same thing.
What?
And you're asking much more out of Casey
2 weeks
Mize.
this whole entire season.
His career, Nick, he's always gotten hurt.
This season, he's missed 2 weeks. That's it.
It's on brand.
Believe.
Oh my God! What? I didn't think that was a crazy take.
I think if he's
healthy,
he's pitched and he's performed very well, and he looks very good. I love Casey Mize. I can't say he's going to be able to hold up for the rest of the season and throughout the playoff run. I can't say that with a straight face, unless you believe, like I believe in Marcus Davenport. But that's a bit. Like,
yeah, this one's not a bit. I'm not trying to be a bit.
No, I know, and that's what I'm saying. Is
little bit.
I think he's very talented when he's healthy, and that's what he was meant to be. He was meant to be that, and he was meant to be the number 1. But obviously, Skubal is Skubal. If he could stay healthy, if he's 100% healthy, yeah, I could see him being that. The way he's pitched this year, he's shown a lot of great signs of maturing and really learning how to use his stuff. But I think him pitching at this level, as a number 2 in a World Series contenders rotation, is an extremely small sample size, and I can't say that I'd be comfortable with that going forward.
Elbow, shoulder, back, left hamstring, right hamstring. I mean, if you showed the body chart in this guy, it looked like my son colored it in. Like he can't stay healthy.
I love him,
but when healthy, that's what my answer was. If healthy, yeah.
I love Casey Mize, and I want him to be that desperately. But I'm not going to sit here and say I can expect that. I would not be comfortable if you said stamp it right now, Casey Mize, your number 2 starter for the rest of the year. No, that would not make me comfortable.
So the same way that you guys talk about, if Davenport plays 16 games, he's going to get 8 sacks or something like that, So if Casey Mize stays healthy the rest of the season, are you comfortable with him as your number 2 starter? Are you confident this team can get to the World Series?
Yes.
If he's your number 2 guy.
I think we need another piece on offense, but yeah.
I think we could get there. Probably. Winning it would be different.
But I think it's also the debate, too. Like, I know for damn sure AJ is depending on the matchups.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you solidify anybody as your number 2 starter. The way he coaches, the way he manages the game, it's going to be what's his lineup look like. And it could be any of them.
Yeah.
I think if Casey Mize is your number 2 starter with the current numbers being a 2.86 ERA, I think that is a phenomenal number 2 starter. And
what's his career ERA?
He's a different pitcher than he's been in his whole entire career.
So
since
you're
returning from
comfortable
Tommy
in
John.
that?
Yes.
Seeing him as a different pitcher than what you've seen in his entire career, you're saying that is the right part, and the rest is the outlier?
Yes.
Outlier?
He's been this pitcher since returning. He is a whole entire different pitcher this season. I am believing in this Casey Mize that I've seen throughout the spring training that came in when he did the interviews on Take a Seat podcast with Dan Dickerson and Jason Benetti and talked about it. He is a completely different pitcher person.
We were talking about before the season who's going to be the 6th starter on this team. Is it going to be Casey Mize?
He came in
and now you're telling me
battled
he's
and won
confident.
the spot.
And now you're confident in him being the number 2.
He won the spot. You can tell
I just think that might be. I think confidence in that is. I don't want to say foolish, but it's extremely aggressive.
In the 78 innings that he's pitched, to have a sub-3 ERA in almost as many strikeouts per and then innings, just 9 less. I think you're seeing everything that you were advertised as Casey Mize as the number 1 overall pick. And now that his body's finally matching up with where his confidence level's at, I do believe in Casey Mize as the number 2 starter on this team. And I would feel great in any playoff series putting out Skubal and then Mize. If you do want to upgrade, it's going to cost you a lot to get a number 2 starter that's, I'd say, better than Casey Mize. It's going to cost you way more.
So you're Mize over Jack now for sure?
Yeah. Yeah. The inconsistencies this season out of Jack Flaherty have not.
I don't think it's like when healthy he delivered. I'm
not. No, like I said, this would be if he can stay healthy. Yeah,
that's the question.
And if he can continue to pitch like he has this season, for sure. I wouldn't say I'm the confident part is what got me. Could I see this happening? Would I like this to happen? Absolutely. Would I say I'm confident in it right now? No, I would not say I'm confident in that.
It's like one of those things where it feels wacky. You'd be like, "Can he stay healthy?" But like, it's been him his career. available then. I mean, this is his best year by far too, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the injury thing. But if he's there, yeah. I mean,
he's like I said, this is what he was supposed to be. And the Tommy Johns, it sucks, but we've seen a lot of pitchers come back and be stronger after their Tommy Johns, i.e. Tarek Skubal. So is this finally fully healthy, ready to go? I hope so. Because I'll tell you what thing, Jack Flaherty can't be your number 2 if you're trying to win a World Series.
He was last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, but this is not the Dodgers lineup of last year.
And he's not pitching the way he was last season. I need to see him get back with Fetter, get back in the lab, and get his confidence in his pitches back where he stops walking players. I think that's the biggest thing. When he walks players, then he gives up the long ball. It's like unnecessary adjustments or unnecessary errors from Jack. I think he got to get back to trusting his own stuff. But on the terms of Casey Mize, before we hop off, his 2.86 ERA is tied for 19th in baseball. You're talking about a top 20 ERA. Like, if healthy, which I believe he is, I believe that's past him because he's come back a different player this year. The hamstring obviously was a thing, but I would feel extremely confident. And I think he has all of the things that he went through, I think would help him in the playoffs when things get tight in those situations.
Can I tell you the teams he pitched against?
Yeah, let's rip it.
Twins, Rays, Pirates, Orioles, White Sox.
Underrated.
Yeah. Sounds like 5 of the 6 worst teams.
Rays are good.
Rockies, Guardians, Royals, Angels.
Yeah, okay. Not confident. No. That's literally 6 of the 6, probably 6 of those are the 6 worst teams in the league. Yeah.
What are you going to do? He's our 5th.
What I like to see.
I'm just kidding, but you gotta.
Like I said, dude, it's a little microwavy for me.
He went up against the Dodgers. He's throwing a no-no. Okay?
He's been pitching very well. Does he have a limit? Does he have an inning limit this year?
6.
I mean, on the year, he's never thrown over 150 innings in his career. He's at 78 right now, 76.
78.
It's going to take more than 70 innings for him to, be the number 2 starter on a World Series team.
I think if Flaherty could hit the zone, he's probably going to be your number 2. But I'm not mad at Nick saying, Mize. But given the context of the teams we just looked at, I mean, that's what context is.
Could Reese Olson be the dark horse and come back?
I mean, Tampa's a really good team. He gave up 1 run against them. Baltimore was on a heater when we played them. Cleveland, they were good earlier in the season.
Tell me about the Rockies, dude. What's the excuse for the Rockies?
Hard to pitch in Coors Field.
There we go.
0 earned runs. Or 1 run.
Angels got 4 on them.
Zach Neto, hell of a ball player. Zach Neto.
Was it that game?
He's got the stuff to do it. He's got the stuff to do it. I haven't seen the health be consistent or the level of play be consistent throughout his career. So, no, I would not say I'm comfortable with him being the number 2.
Can we get that in a chat poll?
We do.
Yeah, we got it up right now.
Casey Mize,
shout out.
You are winning by far.
57% behind 57? Flaherty and Olsen.
I have a feeling by the end of the year it'll be Flaherty, though.
Think he'll get his
That's what it kind of has to be.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff is there. He's just to find the zone.
He's very streaky. Very streaky. And when you have 4 MVPs in your lineup, you can have a very streaky pitcher be your number 1 and win a World Series.
I think an experience portion of it, too, at that high-stakes level, playoff game, he's literally been there.
Yeah, that's a good point, too.
Big Tuna just loves to talk about Seth Lugo in the chat for the Kansas City Royals. I don't know if they would trade him in division, but I'd be interested in Seth Lugo. He's been extremely solid for now over 2 years.
All right, we got
underrated pitcher, I'd say.
We got some important information to talk about. Chris has been really quiet all day, but this is his jam, and it's pretty serious and
let him cook.
Kind of fucked up here. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Malik Beasley coming up next.
Happy NBA free agency, by the way, just started.
Happy NBA free agency. So we're going to talk about Malik Beasley and what his pending lawsuit means for the Detroit Pistons in free agency. But first, let me tell you about Lady Jane's. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Stop in, sit down, relax, get an award-winning haircut from one of your lovely, talented stylists. You can get a hot leather, next shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that good stuff wrapped into one in the King's treatment. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. It's wicked awesome.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan. Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo. You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Jars.com, shopjars.com's website, 27 locations across the great city of Michigan, including 9 right here in Metro Detroit. Make sure you check out the ones coming to Madison Heights, coming soon. I think that's the 11th. They said they're going to be a grand opening. We're probably going to be there. Also check them out in Grand Rapids and Milan, coming soon to you too. Again, it's shopjars.com. Top shelf quality, unmatched variety, price for you, the people.
Jars cannabis. They also said the guys in the show in the commercial are actors. So we might do that next one.
Yeah, I feel like we can do that. I feel like we can do just as good.
We can do just
better.
as good as that, if not better.
Yeah, I agree.
Acting's not hard.
I had a conversation.
If I had the right role, I could win an Oscar. I promise you.
Whoa.
I'm
I like
telling
the
you.
confidence. I thought I could, for sure. I could get manic in that sense, you know?
Mhm.
I could tap in like crazy side and become that person.
I think I could have a pretty wide acting range.
Especially if it's a crazy person. I feel like I do well.
I feel like your drunk God manifestos. I feel like that could get you
Are
an
they good?
Oscar.
They hit hard?
Yeah.
That time I was up on the table?
They are inspirational. Not gonna
They are inspirational. You know it's not inspirational.
Gambling.
Malik Beasley.
Great cash, homie.
Malik Beasley was set to sign a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Detroit Pistons before it was released that he is under investigation from the USA Attorney's Office from the Eastern District of New York for gambling, specifically on prop bets.
And it was when he was in Milwaukee.
Yes, from what I've been able to gather, it's not in this specific article that I read, but like it's from this time in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
A very
January
specific period of time
2024.
with a very specific prop bet. The fact that there's no actual charges, though, I'm gonna say he might be able to beat this.
He could beat it
because if it's that specific of the time frame, I think they'd have a charge by now. You know what I'm saying more than an investigation.
If he beats this in federal court, does that stop the NBA from being like you're suspended forever?
So today, recently, I put it in the chat.
Yes.
You want to throw it up there?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Terry Rozier
It's
has
a
been
sign.
cleared of involvement in the betting scandal per Shams Charania.
His looked way more sus too. Not gonna lie.
Is he being reinstated into the league or
More than likely, if he's been
Well,
cleared,
I don't
right?
think he was ever actually suspended yet because it
It's
was
just
just
investigation.
ongoing.
Wow,
Yeah.
is that time? Maybe,
I think
maybe they thought it was Terry Rozier, but it was actually Malik Beasley.
There was a clip. There's been like 2 clips that surfaced online where he like was playing terrible defense. Another one where he went and closed the spread.
The dunk one's crazy.
Yeah. But he does that stuff.
He's
missed dunks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he have a missed dunk in the
Well,
playoffs?
No,
that was
he
a made
made
dunk.
the dunk.
That was a
No,
made
there
dunk
was
to cover
5
the
seconds
spread.
left.
That's
It was an
bizarre.
8-point game.
Yeah.
And he
I can't
runs
say
down the
anything
court
for
and
sure.
dunks it.
My honest opinion of it now, like there would have been a charge. If it's that specific of a time frame, there would have been a charge by now. You know what I'm saying? And even with the charge, you'd have to find like the exchange of texts.
Yeah.
The actual intent. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's kind of hard to prove. I think the Pistons might get Malik Beasley
on the free ski.
On a little bit of a discount.
Yeah.
Like call him up now. And be like, look, this is kind of weird right now. We'll lock you in for another year.
Yeah. Minimum, like
like a veteran minimum.
Approach this.
Yeah, vet minimum.
Would you be willing to do that?
Yes.
What if he gets suspended and misses the year?
That's fine.
I'm sure there's like some type of NBA bylaw where you don't have to pay that money. If a guy goes to prison, like why would you be responsible for paying
Or if you're
that?
getting him for the biannual exception, which is $5 million, that's not bad. Like
breaking news: the Memphis Grizzlies All-Star Jaren Jackson Jr. are expected to agree on a 5-year, $240 million maximum renegotiation and extension.
No,
so
God,
that
please,
was
no,
they
no.
traded Desmond Bane to sign Jaren Jackson Jr. Well, good for him. Spartan Dog, get paid, get your bag, brother. But yeah, Malik Beasley. So you're saying there's a chance?
I think there really might be.
I do think there is.
And the other thing too is today he posted, and this could be like whatever.
He was just chilling.
Yeah, he posted on his story like follow my vlog, like everything was Gucci. I feel like you were freaking out about. Like,
I think Neon placed the bet for him.
Maybe.
I think it was a translator.
Could have been a translator.
It could have been that would have been the perfect excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in Atlanta for the weekend. He's like, I don't know what the fuck they're saying, so I got my guy. We were playing the Hawks. I couldn't tell what these guys were saying around me.
In Magic City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there might be a chance Malik is straight on this.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Because this drastically changes, to get into the basketball
Nice
part of
tits
it,
today.
this drastically changes the Pistons' approach. And I'm looking at, if you don't get somebody in your free agent list, like I made my top 10, if you don't get one of the top guys to replace Beasley, somebody that skill set, all right, Rook, here you go.
Good luck.
That's a good point,
because his
too.
comp was Malik Beasley, but you're not expecting that year one. But that
Shoot
would be
or
the
shoot,
situation
brother.
you'd have to force him into.
What about
if you don't get somebody?
what are some names that you would look at to replace? Because I've
Real
heard
quick, it might be a little bit of saving grace too, because like those 3 to 19 threes, that's a fucking
Outlier.
lot of 3-point makes. Yeah, who's gonna say he's gonna do that again?
That's an outlier.
Like, let's get him, lock him in at discount now.
Yes, do it. I think this could actually work out.
Could I interest you in one of my brethren, Luke Kennard?
I mean,
no. Hard pass.
No, you guys don't like white guys to shoot, huh?
Hell no.
I don't hate it.
Wait.
He's
Wait
a little
till
bit
you
of a
see my
traffic
list,
cone.
buddy.
You seen him play defense on the perimeter?
Have you seen Malik Beasley play defense on the perimeter? What are we
Better than-
doing here?
But
Luke
does
Kennard.
Luke Kennard
is he?
shimmy?
Yes.
Does he shimmy?
He's a sneaky athlete. That's
Those
for
shimmy
sure.
meals weren't selling, so I had to go to the books.
Well, Spencer, I think I'm actually in lockstep with you. 'cause
Luke
if I
Kennard
wanna
shot
throw
over
up-
40% from threes
disgusting.
since 2020. Every year
Yeah.
since 2020.
How many shots? per game?
44. Here, let me pull up the full stats.
I don't think he plays that much though, but
Yeah.
he's a shooter.
Let's see.
That's for sure.
5 shots, 6 shots, 4 shots, 6 shots, 6 shots, 4 shots.
Total
46 threes attempted.
Okay.
46, 49, 49, 47, 54
I like
on
that.
5.7 attempts per game. 45 on 6.1 attempts per game.
I
And
don't-
last year, 43 on 4 attempts per game.
I don't hate it. It's just not my first choice.
So
I mean,
it doesn't feel good.
it's 'cause he's
Sounds like you're sold on Luke Kennard, Spenny.
if you need a shooter, you're not going to find a better shooter.
Spencer, I got a better one for you. Just look. Right
Nikhil
here,
Alexander
right here,
Walker? That'd
right
be
here,
cool.
Right here.
Shout the Kool-Aid.
Duncan Robinson just opted
I'm
out
taking
of
Luke.
Miami.
I'm taking Luke Kennard over Duncan Robinson
What?
any
You
day
are
of the week.
smoking Krizak. Like, there's no fucking way. There's no
Well,
no
based
way
on
you're-
what?
This list.
Duncan Robinson is an absolute
Makes me soft.
much better shooter, and he could do more. Like, I like the 2-man game we talked about with Bam. I brought
He's a
that
much
up with
better
the rookie.
shooter?
Yeah, like I think in my opinion because of the totality, like the array of shots I've seen him hit, and I've seen this guy on the floor in the NBA Finals. I have not seen Luke Kennard in that high of stakes. I'm not saying that Luke Kennard isn't a shooter. I'm just saying that I would feel more comfortable with a guy like Duncan Robinson than Luke Kennard, personally.
Duncan
I would.
Robinson's shot over 40% twice in his career, and that was in 2019 and 2020.
But I think he offers more offensively with the 2-man games he runs with Bam. Like, I think he can do a lot of
He's
that
good
with
passer.
Jalen Duren. Like, I think I think he's I think he's less of a liability on defense. I'm not talking he's a great
I don't
defender.
think so. I think it's the same.
I think Luke Kennard is almost unplayable because if you're shooting that well from three like Luke Kennard's clip is, you would play more if you weren't just an absolute abysmal defender. Duncan Robinson is a bad defender. He is abysmal, in my opinion. That's why
Duncan Robinson played one more minute per game than Luke Kennard last year.
I was just about to say, boys, the minute conversation.
They're the same guy.
I can't believe he opted out of that contract.
Yeah.
Who else is paying him $20 million?
Nobody.
I love it for the love of the game. Like he wants to get some minutes
years.
somewhere, but that was nuts to me.
They're literally the same player. Like neither of them play any defense. That's why they both play under 25 minutes a game. And Luke Kennard's a better shooter throughout his career. If you want Duncan Robinson, I guess I'm not going to be like, no, I would take Luke Kennard over Duncan Robinson. I would take Nickeil Alexander-Walker over both of them.
Such a depressing conversation to have.
I'd take Nickeil. He was
like
third,
with
he was
Beasley,
third on my
I'm
list.
cool with this conversation. Without Beasley, this feels fucking gross.
I just feel like you need to have some like that Beasley role was shown to be so important to the Pistons.
Ed says, bring back Beasley, deal with the suspension, get him for cheaper. See, the problem with that is if he gets a suspension, it's going to be for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
So like you can't really deal with that.
Breaking news. Another target off the board for the Pistons. Santi Aldama has re-signed with the Memphis Grizzlies. 3 years, $52 million. So
sign and trade to the Detroit Pistons. I'm playing.
Yeah, 3 years, $52 million.
Yeah, not bad contract. I would have paid.
Santi
Aldama.
Aldama. I mean, again, that would have been like Fontecchio 2.0. I feel like he's got great per 60-minute stats, but you don't know what that's truly going to be when he gets that role. Fontecchio had great per 60-minute stats. He got a role where he's playing more minutes. He's buns. So would he have been better than Fontecchio? Yeah, probably. Very low bar though. Yeah. Not too mad about that. You need somebody. If you're not going to have Beasley, that's what you need. You need a shooter.
Yes.
You need a two guard.
That is like we talked about the backup four being an importance, but the Beasley role is much more important to this Pistons team. Like that now, that's what hurts about this free agency is you came into it thinking, okay, you have enough money to get a guy, and you really only have one thing you need, and there's a couple of options there. Now you really, really need a guy to fill that Malik Beasley role. But the confidence I have, like we saw it last year, like Beasley, I think you could get not anybody, but you can get a lot of people on a 1-year deal, and you can get value out of them just because of how good.
But
Cade
like
Cunningham
who
is.
specifically this year? Because we need one.
Yeah, so I like a guy like here, throwing back up my board here. I like Gary Trent Jr. if Milwaukee doesn't commit to him. I know that they're interested, but I think the Pistons could definitely outbid and get that. I'm not a big Karis LeVert guy. I'm not a big Karis LeVert guy. I have him on the board because of talent.
Walker?
What's that?
This is Kool-Aid's list.
No, this is
Chris
mine.
Platy. This is mine.
Oh,
so yeah, I have Nickeil Alexander-Walker on there. I have Quentin Grimes. I mean, you guys know I was a Quentin Grimes guy, and he had good catch and shoot 3 numbers. He went off in Philly at the end of the year where it didn't matter. He's not the shooter that Beasley is volume-wise, but I think he's a great catch and shoot guy, and obviously a much better defender. I'd like that. And Tim Hardaway Jr., man, like, look, Tim Hardaway Jr. was a lesser version of Malik Beasley last year. So, like, that's a guy that I think you could end up getting, you could bring back cheap. He clearly wants to be back. He's made posts about it. He definitely wants to stay.
What if Tim Hardaway Jr. snitched on Malik Beasley so he could have his spot?
I could see him doing that.
Not a chance.
Watching him not pass the ball like in his career, I can see him doing some shit like that.
Shoot all the time. Shit, but me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Don't put that on Timmy.
Shout out to Tim.
Yeah. No, I do have confidence that there are a lot of people. There's a lot of good shooters in the NBA, and I think the Pistons, when you have one of the best playmakers in the game like Cade Cunningham, you can kind of find a good enough replacement. So I do have some confidence, but it is scary losing Beasley because Beasley was super duper important to this team last year. I mean, a lot of the success doesn't happen.
Why the fuck Batum in?
Adiz, Bobby Portis just re-signed, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did.
This list is depressing. Not like the judgment of you, just like
Bruce
fuck.
Brown.
Yes. Fuck yes.
Bruce Brown is a free agent.
I'd love some Bruce Brown.
Alec
Bruce
Burks
Brown. He was
is
short
a free
on my
agent.
list.
Could I reintroduce you to Alec Burks?
I don't know. He couldn't crack the rotation in Miami. He couldn't get over Duncan Robinson. Do you really want that guy, Spencer?
Yeah. No. I don't want either of those guys.
List, yeah.
Pat Connaughton on this list. Torrey Craig.
I still like
Seth
Dorian.
Curry.
I still like Dorian Finney-Smith at the 4.
Jay Crowder. Look at that. He's still out there.
All right, let's go to break.
You're looking at a younger guy? How about somebody like Justin Edwards? Do you know who that is?
He re-signed. He re-signed already.
Easy. So are you out on Duncan and
I like
Kennard?
Duncan better than Kennard.
Yeah.
But I did see Aaron Johnson reported that Kennard Pistons could happen.
Could happen, yeah. I mean, look. I think again, when you have a guy like Cade, I think you can
Honestly,
make
dude,
Kennard look
Seth
all
Curry?
right.
Straight off the pod.
All right. Let me tell you guys about Massage Chair House. All right. Visit the website, massagechairhouse.com. Get yourself scheduled with my guy, Dr. Eric Duncan, for a massage chair tailored to your needs. My guy, Dr. Eric Duncan, also hosts the #1 review channel for massage chairs on the interwebs. Visit massagechairhouse.com, scan the QR code, or visit him in person at the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road in Bloomfield Hills.
Seth Curry shot 45% for 3 last year.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
How do you think you won? We got everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, it's Stick from Woodward Sports. I'm out here at the Feldman shop, of course, you know, because they are #1 people. And the Ineos Grenadier, that's the new car that they got. But I got my man here, the Sun God. I'm not lying. His name is Amon-Ra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He sold me a car.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up? Come see us out here, baby. We're in Waterford. We got the pre-owns all day. We got the Grenadiers, and we got new Chevys all day. Whatever you need, we got you.
Yeah, and I went with this one. I like it. 2023 Durango. It's used. Only got like 30,000 miles on it. And this guy, man, I was like, listen, this is my price. You either make it happen or I'm out of here.
Easy.
You know what he did? Went to his boss. He's like, I'm making this happen for this guy. Came back, threw the contract on the table. Now I'm in the whip.
Yes, sir. Sign, drive, 0 down, easy money all day.
All right, Feldman, what's the address here? Do you know?
5300 Highland Road, Waterford, Michigan, 48327. Open until 6 o'clock every weekday except 9 o'clock on Mondays and Thursdays. It's 4 o'clock on Saturdays. Only day we're not here for you is Sunday. Every other day we're here to get it done, baby.
And his legit name is Amon-Ra. I'm not lying. It was destined. It was meant to be. Woodward Sports found this guy. So thank you very much, man. Enjoying the car, and the kid likes it too. It's nice and safe.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Mad Pax. Shout out to Mad Pax for having us out at the Meat Puff Connect, presented by M.I. Canna Grow. M.I. Canna Grow. Shout out to Mad Pax for having us out there at the event, man.
Michigan Puff Connect.
Michigan Puff Connect. M.I. Puff Connect. That's what it is. Thank you for having us. It was so much fun, man. That was a great event. Go to getmadpacks.com because they're going to be in a lot more stores very soon. They've got the tarantulas. They've got the high-low pre-rolls, the Blizzard Pack Moon Rocks, and just regular weed. If you just want some regular weed, it's go to getmadpacks.com to see where you can get some.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. It means Joe by Spimo Reaction, Chris, Nicholas Koloff, and intern Ryan, who's been specifically requested for this next topic because
he's a Michigan fan.
He's a Michigan fan. I see him out there in the social webs. Ooh, that's gross.
Much like Justin.
I saw, I followed you back on Twitter. I saw a picture of your boys. They're both in their state gear, and you're just there in your Michigan
Yeah,
stuff.
that was the Kenneth Walker game. I was
Nice.
absolutely hated the ending of that game, but man, in East Lansing, it was an awesome day. Awesome day outside of the K9 result.
Yeah.
Great game.
Great game.
That's phenomenal. He carried Michigan State.
He absolutely did. 5 times.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker should have been in New York that year.
He should
That's all
have
I
won
gotta
the
say.
Heisman.
To be honest, like he's tough. Like the hype we're on tough.
Oh,
Kenneth Walker.
1,000%. They got one of the greatest. It's like Joe Burrow, Kenneth Walker. Like when you talk about impact on an organization, if they didn't have Kenneth Walker that year, they would have been trying to throw the ball to Keon Coleman and Jaden Reed 100 times
And
without
Naylor
a running
was on
game.
that team too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he get fucked out of the Heisman finalist?
Did what?
Did Kenneth Walker get fucked out of being a Heisman finalist?
Oh, 100%. He should have been in New
A
York.
little breaking news here.
Man.
Uh-oh.
Dorian
Heartbroken.
Finney-Smith.
My guy. Number one option.
Wow. What?
4
How?
years, $53 million for Houston.
They gotta
Yes.
be over the tax.
Houston made a move to where they kept their full mid-level exception, and they used their mid-level exception to get Dorian Finney-Smith. That was the chatter this morning. They're loaded up. They're loaded up.
Wow. All right. Well, that happened.
Damn.
They're so good. They're going to
Dude,
be
Houston
so
is going to
good.
be really fucking good next year. Wow.
They're gonna be really
And they're not even Kevin Durant's not even going to have to play half of the season. They
they-
can just rest him.
They have so much depth at every position.
And now Dorian Finney-Smith. for
Dorian
damn
Finney-Smith, Eason, Jabari Smith, Alfred Sengun. Their front court is.
Sure. Yeah, they just re-signed Jabari Smith as well. 24.
Tari
and a half.
Eason.
Yeah. Okay, but
All right.
Yeah.
What did happen in Ann Arbor? I'm not going to speak on. I'm going to have Ryan speak on because you're a Michigan fan. What the fuck's going on?
with Michigan and Jim Harbaugh.
There's like 10 different scandals. So
That's fair.
I mean, going on right now, I mean, you got to think in the last calendar year, Harbaugh's left, and he's got a show cause. He's got a 4-year show cause, I believe. And if anyone doesn't know what that means he can't coach college football for the next 4 years. And if you were to go back to college football within the next 4 years, he has to serve a 1-year suspension at whatever the first year. So Minter left. He's got a 1-year show cause. Santa Ono left, tried to go to Florida, but got denied. Stallions resigned in the middle of the season. But what's going on right now? You want me to talk about the latest?
Yes, with Jim Harbaugh getting added to the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Matt Weiss.
Yeah, so the Matt Weiss scandal, this took place December of 2022, I believe. So basically what happened was a female athlete went into Schembechler Hall and caught Weiss on his computer looking up inappropriate photos of other Michigan women student athletes, I believe.
Yeah.
And allegedly.
It was a data. He had access to a database of over 100,000 student athletes across the country. That was
300.
Yeah, that was controlled by a third party, and he apparently was looking at over 3,000 different. Because he got the cloud information for their phones
shit,
and
yeah.
personal computers, and got access to intimate pictures and videos that they had on their devices, and was looking at it for over 3,000 apparently students.
And basically, Harbaugh knew about it, or it was reported, and Harbaugh knew about this. Ward Manuel knew about this. The current athletic director, he was athletic director at the time too, but they still
And Santa Ono.
Yeah, and Santa Ono knew about it too, and they then took and they still allowed Weiss to coach in the Fiesta Bowl, which was Michigan played TCU won 51-45, whatever it was, but these 11 female student athletes are filing a lawsuit against the University of Michigan, which they then added Harbaugh, Ward, blanking on the current or the previous athletic director, Schlissel, I believe was his name, and then Santa Ono and Weiss are on it. But they're all in the same lawsuit, and they're filing this lawsuit against just privacy and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But Harbaugh knew about it and didn't say anything, which kind of begs the question. In the last year and a half, Harbaugh's been, 3 scandals now? You had the Burgergate, you had the sign stealing scandal, and now this. And you kind of prop the question here. Is Michigan athletics, Michigan football, University of Michigan as a whole, are they better off without Jim Harbaugh than when they were with Jim Harbaugh?
No.
No?
He won him a championship.
But I'm saying all the
off-field
all
stuff.
the off the field stuff.
I mean, the off-the-field stuff doesn't really affect their programs at all because nobody talks about it.
No.
The big
Wonder
wall
Yeah.
is fucking.
It's
college football. It's a dirty game.
Yes.
This one specifically is gross and should never happen when it comes to the
100%.
Weiss thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to the on-the-field stuff and, like, the Burger Gate, all that bullshit, that's just how you get recruits, honestly. That really is. Like, is it allowed? Is it not allowed?
The Burger Gate, the
that's
sign
just-
stealing stuff, that's whatever. This is inexcusable.
Yeah, 100% agree. But the other stuff, it's obviously just part of college football. This can't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should never
And
happen.
should be punished for it.
I will say this, and we obviously don't know the end results of all this, but like, it is like a innocent till proven guilty type of situation for
They,
him
like,
letting him
raided
play.
his house, though. Right?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like if nothing's concrete, how could you? I don't know. I can see him talking his way like, "Hey, don't pull me, coach." Like it's just this. You know what I'm saying?
innocent, yeah.
But still, obviously, on Matt Weiss' part, fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
And weird.
It's absolutely
Well,
disgusting.
do you have any thoughts about punishments that they're going to see, or what? Because this is, like you said, this is 3 offenses now for Michigan, and we know they like to throw around lack of institutional control, and that's kind of what starts a death sentence. I don't think they're not going to give Michigan a death sentence or anything for this, but
The thing that's gonna what I think was gonna happen is it's just gonna be a whole bunch of fines, and the thing that helps Michigan is that none for the football program currently is all these people are gone.
Mhm.
Like, even if you look at the sign stealing scandal, all the CMU people are gone too.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of hard to. Sharon's the only one left.
were you on the sideline?
Yes, it was me.
You have a foot in both camps. So does Justin's at
Oh
Western.
shit! Yeah, did you make that happen?
No, I did absolutely nothing with that. But I think what's just going to happen is it's just going to be a whole bunch of fines. And if Michigan football becomes bad on the football field, which I don't expect, like if they just become Brady Hoke, Rich Rodriguez, Michigan football, you're going to see a postseason ban because, they're just bad. But if Michigan football stays within like the bubble, the playoff, I don't think you're going to see a postseason ban simply because of the networks and how much money,
so much money
that Michigan itself brings in. I think that there should be a little bit more punishments than just fines and potentially losing scholarships. But in the age of NIL, do scholarships really matter? Because you're getting paid more money than tuition at the University of Michigan even happens. I think at the end of the day is you're not going to see Harbaugh coaching college football again. He's going to simply stick with the NFL. Santaono probably won't get another presidency. Weiss won't get another coaching job.
No.
And they're basically just going to be all kicked out of college football, and you're just going to see a bunch of fines with the University of Michigan.
Damn.
And I think that there should be a little bit more extent, but I just don't see it happening because it being the University
It's already
of Michigan.
over, and it already happened, and they're all already gone. So are
That's
you
the
gonna
big part.
are you gonna kill the Michigan State football or the Michigan football program when these guys aren't there anymore? Probably not, like you said, because they make so much money, and it's fucked up, and it's crazy that it took this long to come out. But
it's a civil case, right? Or like what's going on with the criminal part of like Matt?
I think it's just a civil case at
Okay.
this point now.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Weiss, that's
Matt
disgusting.
Weiss is federal. He got
That-
raided by the feds.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
federal.
So he's facing a criminal charge on top
I
of
think
this.
the amendments were to the civil case that involved or that included Jim Harbaugh, Santaono.
Yeah.
And
I watched a
Ward
real
Manuel.
quick video on, I think it was X, of like a lawyer talking about it, and he said sometimes in a situation where it could be high profile to get judges and public on your side, they'll throw
names.
Yes. It's like if any big company gets sued, the CEO is thrown in there.
Yeah.
You got to get like the coverage with it.
Well, I mean, that's also your company. You know, you're the
Mhm.
CEO. So
Exactly.
You should
You're
be knowing
ultimately
about what happened.
responsible.
Yeah.
Exactly. You should
Jim
have a thumb
Harbaugh
on
was the
everything.
CEO of Michigan football.
Mhm.
So, well, great job, Ryan. Very
Thank
well
you.
stated. I thought you did a
Thanks
great
for
job.
having me on.
Yeah,
No, for sure,
Superstar.
man.
We've
He asked me about a nickname over the weekend.
a nickname. All right.
We haven't been around you enough for a
Yeah, we'll
nickname.
think of one. Think of one. I thought of Chicken Little just now.
Chicken Little?
Yeah, no reason. I don't know. Just came to my head.
I think Chicken Little fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out this nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to run away from Chicken Little.
We'll put Chicken Little as a placeholder right now.
Chicken Little is a great placeholder.
Yeah,
For sure.
we'll think of something else. But we're going to come back. The Detroit Pistons, NBA free agency, off to a hot start. The Detroit Pistons just signed a huge piece in their front court. We're going to talk about that coming up. But first, let me tell you about Loom Cannabis, because if you think this is a huge piece in the Pistons front court, you're definitely on some Loom Cannabis. Shout out to those Buzzin' long drinks. 7.5 milligrams of THC in a can, perfect for on the golf course, whether you're watching the fireworks, around a campfire, on the beach, wherever you are, you should have a long drink, a Buzzin' in your hand. They pair well with any type of long drink, but make sure you go to loom.com to find out their massive inventory. You can use promo code WSN30 to get 30% off your entire order. It's Loom Cannabis.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
The bad boys of Detroit sports media are here. We won't back down. We are Woodward Sports, Detroit's #1 sports network.
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Weights Live on Sports.com. Easy, much more reaction. Chris, Nicholas Koloff, smash the like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. So we got breaking news on Detroit Pistons free agency.
Breaking news.
B-Ball Paul.
The Detroit Pistons are re-signing Paul Reed to a 2-year, $11 million contract.
What the fuck?
I mean, like, I'm not going to be mad. It's a 2-year, $11 million contract for a third-string center. It's not like this is make or breaking any other deals that they're doing, but I'd like to see somebody who's actually going to get minutes in a rotation before our center dies.
Yeah, I think what this is, too, is people put things out of context, and just because they're agreeing on principle doesn't mean it's officially signed dot to paper. So this is a move that the Pistons are likely going to go over their cap after they've used their cap space to re-sign B-Ball Paul. I would imagine that's their move. So, like, yeah, it's the first one. I think the biggest play right now is you're looking at Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who seems likely to Atlanta. The other thing is Dennis Schroeder does seem to be out, but that does seem to be a sign and trade. So let's see in the sign and trade what they could bring back. I mean, look, they do have guys like Malik Monk. They do have guys like Malik Monk. They have guys like Keon Ellis that are younger and cheaper that maybe the Pistons would be interested in keeping. But Dennis Schroeder will likely be a sign and trade because the Pistons have their bird rights. So Dennis Schroeder is going to want to go somewhere, but also get his money. So I think Detroit will do a sign and trade with Sacramento, and I think that will give us some type of asset. We'll see what it is, whether it's a player or it opens up more cap space to make it move for something else.
The veteran minimum's got to be $5.5 million, right?
That's a biannual exception. Okay. That's a biannual exception, which is for teams over the cap. I don't know. I don't know, though, if that's specifically what they're using, because that's like something you have to announce that, hey, that's what you're using. So, I mean, I think the money does add up to that being what it is, but we'll see. Maybe they are just going to use straight cap space. I don't know what they're going to do. Point being, there's going to be many moving parts, and I don't think just because this is the first move, I don't think this necessarily
it fucking better not
like
be.
the big move.
No, this is no.
Yeah.
What?
B-Ball Paul being our big
move?
Are you kidding me?
Hot take from Chris. B-Ball Paul isn't the big move.
Well, I mean, you got the chat freaking out about it. Like, I'm trying to give them some. I'm trying to give them some hope.
Dude,
but
yeah, the chat's gonna freak out about everything, no matter what.
Yeah.
If B-Ball Paul's the last move they make, I'll eat my shorts. They have to bring in somebody else now. Beasley's gonna be suspended or whatever the hell's happening there.
We just gotta be patient.
Yeah.
It's the same conversation we've been having. We're not gonna do nothing for the trade deadline. Nothing of note. That is.
I think they'll find some.
Well, now they kind of have to, right?
Yeah, they have to
get somebody to replace Beasley.
Yes, that's like a non-negotiable.
Even like who you grab. I mean, think of Beasley coming off the bench. Whoever you grab's coming off the bench. It's not gonna be anything of note. You're just gonna grab another guy.
Yeah, but I think you saw just how much Beasley had success here. I think you saw how vital it is. So even in a grand scheme of things, he's a bench player.
It wasn't even it wasn't
Beasley
like
was important.
X and O's. It was like we had no shot clocks running down.
But you needed that spacing for Cade. You needed that
for sure,
desperately,
and you'll get that. But I'm saying nothing of note is going to happen until the deadline. Just
like they're not
like
getting
a star
an
or
all-star
anything.
probably.
No. But they need to add they need to add a 6-man. They need a 6-man.
Karis LeVert's up there.
See, I don't like that because I don't think he's like. I'm more concerned with getting the shooter like Beasley was, right? Like I think that's more important than another guy that's going to dribble and shoot. Like Karis LeVert, maybe I'm just a little down on him, but I would rather get like one of those pure shooters that can like hit shots off of screens, that can do a lot of off-ball actions rather than Karis LeVert, who I think is a better player with the ball in his hands. So to me, I would say I wouldn't, throw a fit about getting Karis LeVert. I'm just not that high on the fit of Karis LeVert on this team. I'd much rather go for a guy like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a guy like Duncan Robinson, a guy like Malik Beasley if he was able to clear charges. But I think that's where you're at.
No charges, Malik Beasley. So, just saying.
Yeah. I was saying clear charge, but yeah, I guess I should say if he's not charged.
The Karis stuff, it's weird because I feel like what he would bring to you the most, Ivy's going to have for you as well. Yeah. Although Karis a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Are you looking at his stats?
And it's weird, too, that the Pistons have been linked to him for several regimes now.
I'm waiting for something to pop up that's not fucking B-ball Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at what were you saying, Chris?
I think, too, it's interesting to note that Karis LeVert is a name that they quickly got to, and yet this has been multiple regimes that have been interested in Karis LeVert. But I know, as we know, there are some factions of previous regimes that are still a part of this Pistons organization, so maybe that's what it is.
Smith to the Rockets.
But
that sucks.
That's
a
huge move. That's a huge move. Yeah.
I mean, go look at when he was playing with Luke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you give him Cade Cunningham and the spacing that he would have
because that's
provided.
A shooter who can also play defense.
Yes.
Now there's a situation where you're looking at like the tax-free, income tax, and then like obviously position they're in as a team as well.
Yeah. No, that was a no-brainer for him. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I couldn't be mad at him.
Unfortunately, yeah, we weren't gonna beat that offer. I don't think.
Do you think it boosts them over OKC now to this point?
The Rockets?
Yep.
I think I gotta see it to believe it, but I really, really like this Rockets roster and what they're doing.
I really like that shirt, Chris.
Thank you.
Go Lions.
I'm gonna have some fun with.
Let's see the shirt.
It's just a Lions hoodie.
Oh, it's not even a shirt.
Yeah.
It's sick.
I just took the compliment. I was just happy to get one.
No, I actually
pretty scarce around here.
Yeah.
I called Jalen Green J.R. Smith. Is that disrespectful?
It's disrespectful to J.R. Smith.
Oh, I wanted to ask you guys this while we're looking for kind of free agency stuff to talk about. The Jabari Smith contract. Kool-Aid throughout the conversation piece of like compare that 5-year $122 million to like Ivy and Duren. Where are you guys at with that part of it? Like, do you think that's like a fair ball point?
Yes.
Or do you think that's something you're willing to pay for one, not the other? Do you think one of them's going to get more, both of them's going to get more? What do you think of that contract in comparison to Ivy?
I think it's pretty fair for both of them, honestly. I think that's what they both are going to be around.
It's about $24 million a year. So if you break it down, it's about $24 million a year.
Yeah, I think
starting.
Duren might be a little less.
I think Duren would be the more. I think Duren would be more.
I don't know if you're paying centers that much though. For a center that is really not like an old school center in the modern NBA, which is what Duren is. I don't know if you're going to pay him more than $24 million.
Yeah, I think Claxton got 22, so yeah, maybe Duren doesn't get much more.
I think
than
Duren's
that.
Closer to 20. I think Ivy will be right around there.
See, I feel like Ivy's going to get the cheaper contract than Duren just because I feel like you're right. I mean, both roles are redundant, but I think Duren has higher upside around the league, and I also think that Ivy being a guard
for real.
You think Duren has higher upside than Ivy?
Higher upside than Ivy?
Yeah, I've said that for a while.
Oh, no.
Have you?
I don't know if you have.
Run the tape or listen once, just once,
please.
please.
I mean,
But Easy, would you be willing to $24 million a year?
Yeah.
Ivy, Duren, would you be willing to pay each of those or one of those, or what do you think?
He's gonna lose his mind.
Dude, I mean,
It's about $20 million too high for Ivy.
I'm the exact same thing Trajan is. I gotta see it. I can't
Oh yeah, but value
if we're
contract. You're the money guy.
Come next season, if we're like a 2 seed, yes. Anything below that, I'm still like.
Go get Boucher, says Mr. Duncan. Chris Boucher, can I interest you in him?
I do like Chris Boucher, and he just has random spurts of great basketball.
He has random spurts where he's hitting 5 threes and blocking 5 shots in games.
Yeah, and it's one quarter he'll have 16 points and 2 blocks, and then he'll just disappear.
He'll finish with 18 points and 2 blocks.
Yeah, and then he'll score 0 points the next 3 games.
I mean, is Boucher an improvement over Fontecchio? Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, pretty low bar there.
Duren's what, 21?
21.
No.
He'll get better.
He'll get better.
So Easy, $24 million.
Last night during the post game, there were these little kids going 6'7", 6'7" in the background.
I'm really pissed you just said that, dude. Ryan Lentz is gonna find that and just see they do it. Ryan Lentz is a fucking 14-year-old at heart.
You do it too.
Yeah, because I sit next to him for 4 hours a day.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That'll do it.
I was low key cracking up.
Emmanni Bates?
No.
Yes.
Let's go to break.
Pull the trigger. Yeah, why not?
You can.
3-point shooter. Big body bends.
He's not an NBA guy. Tell us about Buddies.
Buddies Pizza, guys. Promo code TimMill. I'm putting you on game right now. Save some money to try the best Detroit-style pizza in Michigan. The best because they invented the Detroit-style pizza in 1946. That's how long they've been in business. You're not in business that long unless you're the best at what you do. It's promo code TimMill. Save 10% on Buddies Pizza today.
The backs are hot, and the weather is getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer with 5 locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing. This month's specials include a 2025 Silverado 1500 Crew lease for just $149 per month, and you can also get a 2026 Equinox LT lease for just $209 per month. Make sure you check out Feldman today.
Damn quick trigger there, Chris.
Yeah, it was.
15th, 42-minute game against the Indiana Pacers. 7 of 15 from 3. He had 25 points.
Max.
Come on, nah.
Super Max.
Come on, nah. I believe in Emmanni Bates like you guys believe in Jaden Ivey.
That's so disrespectful to Jaden Ivey.
Hey, remember they're calling
Flip that.
Remember they called him Kevin Durant? The next KD.
They were calling him, yeah. He was supposed to be the next superstar.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I think. See you, brother.
And
what do you say?
After that take.
Yeah.
Yeah, hurry up. Hurry up, kid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, when I
What up,
saw
Chicken Little? Unmute him, Nick.
Chicken Little
I
for
did.
sure.
when I saw Emmanni during COVID, Emmanni Bates' team played Chet Holmgren's team in high school.
You went to that?
No, it was on
Okay,
TV.
I was gonna say, what are you doing out in Minnesota?
I'm not going all the way to Minnesota.
Not in
for that.
COVID.
But I saw Emmanni play against Chet Holmgren, and that was the day. I think he was like a junior or sophomore. The day that I realized Emmanni Bates was not going to be good at basketball because the way his personality and his play, I wanted him at Michigan State so bad after that because he would have collided with Izzo, and it would have been so awesome for me to watch it all collapse.
That's why he ran
and
away.
explode. But yeah, I didn't think Emoni Bates was gonna be good after that game.
The day we saw him against Oakland, and that's what I knew.
Rocket Watts clamped him up in the second half.
That's what I knew.
He's not good.
If you can't step up on the floor against Oakland University,
Rocket Watts had him in prison.
He was hot in the first half.
Yeah, and then Rocket said, "I got him."
Yeah.
Shout out Rocket Watts.
That was the day I gave up on Emoni Bates.
Shout out the Eagles, Eastern Michigan.
He's at Memphis too, right?
Yeah,
he's at
he
Memphis
was.
with Durant.
He was.
They should have fucking won if he was nice like that.
And
you know what I'm saying?
James Wiseman.
Yeah.
Wait,
what?
James Wiseman was on that team too.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
'cause-
sure?
Oh yeah.
I thought he was already in the league.
Because Wiseman got suspended right away.
Yep.
Wiseman walked so Jalen Duren could run.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised Durant can't shoot a little more because Sheep was over there coaching too.
Stick Sucks says, "Who is this mushroom head MSU hater?"
It's Chicken Little.
Chicken.
Chicken
mushroom.
Little.
I'm not.
Chicken mushroom.
We should call him Picada.
Yeah, I'm never
chicken
coming back
mushroom.
on that. I'm never coming back on the show, guys.
We could
Never
call him
coming back.
Picada.
That's what happens. This is how you come through. Listen,
that's a chicken dish with mushroom sauce.
the
Picada.
best interns in company history came through the heavyweights.
That is true.
That's fact.
You're looking at two of
You're
them
looking
right
at
there.
two of them right now. Yeah.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Third on the way.
That's true. That is true.
Shout
that's
out,
true.
Birdie.
We do that for sure. That mushroom chicken line was fucking hilarious. Do you think TJ Watt's not getting traded?
No.
I'm not talking about that. That's not happening.
No.
There's
Why
no
is
way in
Shefty
on
tweeting
hell.
it?
You don't trade those
Shefty's
guys.
giving it juice.
But he
listen.
just said teams want. Obviously, teams want.
Listen,
him,
if
but doesn't mean he's getting
Cleveland
traded.
didn't trade Myles Garrett,
TJ Watt's not getting traded.
nobody's trading a superstar edge rusher like that.
Especially on they're in their fucking last dance with Aaron Rodgers right now.
Yeah.
They're not trading TJ Watt. I
They
promise
just traded Minka Fitzpatrick.
to sign TJ Watt.
Yes.
In my opinion, that's why this not happening.
TJ Watt ain't moving.
Yeah, no, he's not going nowhere. I'm not even entertaining that bullshit. And by the way, different system. I was still.
Porzingis,
I still force it,
Kyrie,
though.
Drew, DeAndre Hunter. Etc. What are you talking about?
What happened? Pistons did what?
I don't know.
Pistons do?
Nothing.
No.
Pistons haven't done anything yet.
Swallowed up.
Damn, dude, the Rockets are.
They're good.
Gotta make this work.
The Rockets are good.
They did lose a wannabe J.R. Smith, though, so you got to keep that in mind.
It's true.
Was that disrespectful of me to say?
No.
No.
I think he
I've been
projects
saying
to be
that, too. Like, he's
Maybe a better version?
No, he's not even on track to be a better version than J.R. Smith. Look at J.R. Smith's numbers.
You're right.
Like,
Whoa. Yeah.
and J.R. Smith ended up becoming a role player on a championship team. Right now, I don't see that maturation for
Dorian
Jalen.
Finney-Smith just replaces Dylan Brooks.
Good job.
And, dude, they're...
What happened?
Good job, Bubba.
The Rockets are going to be so good, bro.
Jalen Green has better numbers than J.R. Smith to start his career, but Jalen Green also was like number 2 overall pick, given the opportunity to have those numbers.
But now we don't have to hate the Rockets because
does
Jalen
J.R.
Green's off
drink
of
honey?
the
I
I
Rockets.
still do, though. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I still hate the Rockets.
I'm not, yeah.
I hate
I
them
mean,
like
I don't like him,
I don't
but
know.
I don't
I
hate
love-
him as
I
much
love
with
watching
Jalen
the
Green
men, though.
leaving. Jalen Green created that
watching the men.
rivalry for
The
me.
men
Watching the men?
You love watching
Amen
men.
Thompson.
Christian
Amen
said, I
Thompson.
love watching men.
No,
Flip it. Flip it.
No, Amin's
That
dope.
wax
Amin,
on
I mean,
cheese.
Amin's sorry.
Yeah.
Amin's actually crash out. I
He's
enjoy
a
crash
crash
outs.
out.
Yeah.
You're a crash out.
Like that, the Tyler Hero shove where he threw Tyler Hero to the ground. It was like a normal ass basketball.
Tyler
like,
Hero also
play.
a bitch.
Yeah, you hate him.
Don't like Tyler Hero.
Why?
I don't know.
Because he got that one-on-one with Taylor Rooks on the
That
boat.
definitely doesn't help.
Oh, you
I
salty.
fucking love Taylor Rooks, dude.
Yeah, she got the heavies for sure.
She's got everything.
Chicken Little, any hot takes you have while you're in the show? The mic in front of you.
Any hot?
Any takes you've heard from this show that you're like, that's fucking horrible.
Amani Bates better than Jay.
Before you even, Jesus,
almost went in.
you gotta start drinking the rest of your water.
There's like 2 drips.
I would say, I guess my hot take that I would say,
Like, for instance, last week, Skywalker said he don't think the Detroit Lions going to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff.
I mean, the Rams got to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, and if
But did they win?
they didn't, but I mean, I think the Lions offense is way better than that Rams offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say. I would say.
They had Pharaoh Cooper though.
If Tyler Gurley was healthy, though, yeah, fair.
I would say at this moment.
Deep cut there for the heavyweights fans.
For sure.
At this current moment in time, Tigers team is not winning a World Series because I don't trust them in 7. I trust them in 5. I don't trust them in 7.
Do you trust Casey Mize as the number 2 starter on this team right now going into the playoffs?
No.
top 20 in ERA in baseball.
I don't trust them in 7. I don't trust them in 7.
So funny reading the name.
I wouldn't take this team over the Dodgers if they're like.
Fuck
right
no.
now. Yeah.
No, dude. I'm not taking this team over the Dodgers right now.
They
That's
need a
psycho. That's psycho shit. I'm not taking them over the Mets. Maybe.
I'll probably.
They need a right-handed bat because the most fugazi thing is the offense.
Yeah. Who do you think has better handles, James Harden or Allen Iverson? I mean, you're young as shit
young,
too.
yeah.
How old are you?
22.
Oh, okay.
222.
Over 8. I mean,
Skywalker's fucking 19.
Is he
Looks
really?
like he is.
Yeah, dude.
Why'd he come in drunk all the time?
No. That is dry.
But who do I think has better handles, AI or Harden?
Yeah.
Probably AI. I would say AI.
Yes.
It's fair.
Yes.
That's the right answer.
I mean,
That's the right answer.
He did have an iconic
Crossover.
finals moment. He stepped over. Who was it? Tyronn
Lue. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty iconic. I mean, James Harden travels every time he does a step back. So.
And then if you had to fight any athlete to switch lives with them,
Yeah.
you have to win the fight to the death.
Fight to the death to
With any athlete, you get to switch lives with them.
switch lives with.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'd be a soccer player because.
Okay.
You know.
Who would you pick?
Who would I pick?
Pulisic?
I don't know, but yeah.
Pulisic?
Well,
He would whoop your ass.
No,
you guys are probably like the same size.
You take Messi.
Messi's
because Messi's the greatest
Messi
thing.
will kick you in the nuts.
No, I would never disrespect Messi like that. Who's got a hot girlfriend?
That's a good question.
All of them.
I mean, pretty much.
Who's the guy dating Tiana Trump?
Some
French dude.
Oh, Mbappe.
Oh,
Pulisic's 5'10". I don't know if you can take
Nicolas.
Pulisic.
I would.
Is it Mbappe? It's not Mbappe?
No, I don't think it's Mbappe. I would beat up Lamine Yamal because he's like 16, took the world by storm, and now he's dating Spanish supermodels left and right. I would take Lamine Yamal.
That's very good.
That's who I would take.
I like the process.
He would dust you.
Don't know who that
Well,
is.
Lamine Yamal is the skinny. If you search him up, he's so skinny.
How do you spell his name?
Lamine and then Yamal. Yamal.
Chat. What the fuck? How the fuck would I know how to? He's 5'11".
Dude, he's so skinny though. I would take Lamine.
He's 5'11", 160. He is very skinny. Okay, all right. Hit him with a couple body shots. Maybe you could.
And I don't know the name of the Spanish supermodel, but man, is she hot.
Yeah,
that's who I'm taking.
That's fair. All right, that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you guys tapping in.
Ryan.
Make sure you smash that like button. Shout out Ryan. Shout out Birdie. Shout out Eazy, Chris, and Nick. I am Spencer.
Hey, shout out to everybody that came up and said what up yesterday, too. That was pretty dope.
Shout out to Chaz.
It's dope being downtown.
And shout out to Dina from Old Miami for hooking us up.
Shout out to Jihad.
Shout out to Jihad.
Might be
Shout
doing
out
some
to
MMA
Rachel.
content with Jihad.
Well, that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you guys tapping in. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.